the White Sox would go on to win it. The Orioles now have to try and avoid a sweep at the hands of the White Sox. Machado got the home run to finally get them some runs on the board, and they get back Jonathan Schoop. A Sunday afternoon day game is coming up next. It's the Orioles on Masson from Chicago, wrapping up the season series against the White Sox and this 3-game set as the Orioles try and avoid a sweep. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles, the runs just have not been there since the games against Texas at home and the first 2 games here in Chicago. The Orioles now have lost 3 in a row, and they are looking to avoid a sweep. White Sox have not swept a series from the Orioles since 2005. Roster change today, Jonathan Schoop. He's not only here, he's playing. He'll be at second base. Ryan Flaherty has been designated. He's down, but he's still here. He'll be going back on the roster after the ball game tonight, probably because Nolan Reimold is going to be going on paternity leave. So the roster changes continue for the Orioles seemingly on a daily basis. And believe it or not, we are halfway through this major league season. So we decided we ought to take a look at exactly what's gone on for the Orioles in that first half. And Jim Palmer for the O's. It's a question, as you put it, who are they?
Exactly. And, you look at their numbers, and you can see they win at home, they lose on the road. Their record, ironically, is the same as it was last year. But, again, they were a little bit more balanced. So I guess as we look at all this stuff, Gary, you're saying, okay, where are they going from here? You get Schoop back, you got Gosman back, you got Wieters back. So you have all these pieces coming back. As you mentioned, it's a new roster thing every day. And you're kind of wondering, we know they hit home runs. Last 2 years, they've been #1. This year, they're third. Don't steal bases. They pitch pretty well. They got the best defensive team in baseball. So I guess the interesting thing, you'd love to see them play better against a rookie left-hander, and then they're going to Minnesota, who has one of the best home records. But you just don't know. But that's the excitement of baseball.
And that has really been the story of the Orioles. I don't think most people, if they were watching the team this year and last year, without looking at the records, Jim, would believe the ball club this year could have posted the exact same record coming into this halfway point.
Yeah, and you look at it, you go out, and Andrew Miller, he kind of he gives you even better bullpen because the bullpen was good before they acquired him. Nelson Cruz had 40 home runs, the most in Major League Baseball. You had Steady Eddie, Nick Markakis in right field. So, the biggest problem that I see, and it will probably maybe last for the next couple of weeks till they make a roster change, is that you have a lot of parts that seem to be the same. Nobody stepped to the fore. So, in the old days when we had Renicky and John Lowenstein, we knew that they were going to hit 30 to 40 home runs. They could be your platoon play, and then we had our regular players. This year, everybody, Buck Showalter is trying to give a guy a chance and hope he steps up. Jonathan Schoop, welcome to that opportunity.
Jonathan brings hopefully some offense and some power offense to the Orioles today. Orioles fans who've been on hand for the weekend will enjoy a Sunday at the Yard. And we'll talk to Jonathan in a minute. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. High overcast, a lot of glare here on another beautiful day in Chicago for this Sunday game. And for the Orioles, this is the Sunday they hope Jonathan Schoop is back for the remainder of the season. Obviously, he brings not only the great defense at second base, but a bat that's got some power. This is only going to be his 9th start at second base this season. Jonathan Schoop rehabbing that bad knee. We talked to him before the game. What was he doing during rehab?
And hitting, I was trying to swing a strike as much as possible. And my workout, I have to work out almost every day to get better. And I feel like I'm stronger than before. I feel like I move better than before too. But on the hitting wise, I was trying to swing only strike and trying to get better at it and stay more focused in the field.
Do you feel as though you have to favor anything because of the injury, either in the field or at the plate?
No, I don't feel like it. Like I say, I feel stronger than before. I feel like I can do more things that I didn't do before.
Now, you've got to do some pretty constant workout, though, to keep that knee in shape, right?
Yeah, I got to go to a routine, a plan, fire out my quad, my hamstring, and my hips, and it's good to go.
All right. You've been watching the Orioles struggle scoring. Hits haven't been there. What do you see?
I feel like that, like every team go to a tough time to score sometime, but this team is pretty good, and we're going to pick it up pretty soon. Hope today we pick it up.
Pitching has been pretty darn good of late, huh?
Yeah, pitching always good, defense pitching, and everything coming along. That's how the team became a good team.
It's got to be tough being away. I mean, you came to play at the beginning of the year, you had a position, then had to go out. How tough was that?
It was really tough, especially the 2 weeks, because it seems like it'd be a long time out, the 2 weeks, because only thing I know to do is play baseball, and I was out of there. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to fill out my day, and I get through it and I work hard to be back.
Follow the Orioles every day. I'm sure you probably didn't miss a pitch.
No, I didn't miss any pitch.
You see, when did you find out you were going to be activated?
After the last day in Frederick, I got a call and I have to be here in Chicago, and Sunday you're going to activate me.
Jonathan, we really appreciate it. Great to have you back. Have a great day and a great second half of the season.
Thank you. I will.
So they get their second baseman back, and I think 137 games last year, a little over 450 at bats, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of home runs, hit 16 of them. So again, I mean, the mission early on with the new hitting instructor Scott Kuhlbaugh, he described his swing as a windshield wiper, very quick when it was on high. So again, they smoothed it out and got off to a great start, and then the knee surgery. So boy, in this game, as you know, Gary, health is wealth. So he's back. He should upgrade the position. Ryan Flaherty's done a great job. He's optioned out for the day, as we talked about in the opening. So now you're kind of getting back to where you'd like to be with a full squad.
Where you thought you'd be at the beginning of the year. Let's take a look here at our BGE home game time temperature. It is 79 degrees, the warmest we have had here for a ball game. Humidity, though, still down. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Reimold, and Jones, Davis, Pierce, and Paredes, Hardy, Schoop, and Joseph. First time in the lineup since April 17 for the second baseman.
And Carlos Rodon, he will be their starter out of North Carolina State, their #1 draft choice last year, third pick. So a lot of fastballs, one of the best sliders in college baseball. Still working on the changeup. You can see doesn't throw it a lot. So the walks have come down. I mean, he's 3-1, 3-0 here at U.S. Cellular Field. So he's yet to lose here. He's pitched well, and the longer this will be his 10th start, the more starts. He still throws a lot of pitches, 18 an inning. I mean, he can get it up to 97, but he's kind of much more consistent. His pitching coach, Don Cooper, was telling us on Friday. And as we mentioned, still working on the secondary pitches, but the slider's as good as it gets. I suppose, Gary, if you're ever going to look at your #1 draft choice, he was the third guy picked last year. This is a poster child for a college pitcher.
I mean, he's only his second year pro ball, and here he is at the major league level already at the tender age of 22 years old. Let's see if the Orioles offense can do something against him with Manny Machado picking up the home run in the ball game that gave the Orioles a brief 2-1 lead in the ball game yesterday. Got that in the 8th inning, only to see the White Sox battle back and come away with a 3-2 win. Low scoring, all pitching series so far. White Sox won the opener 1-0, 3-2 yesterday. Rondon's pitch is going to be in there for a strike, and we're underway on this Sunday. For Manny Machado, he comes in 5th in hits, 6th in runs, and the 7th best average against left-handed pitchers in the American League. Rondon, who likes to pound the strike zone when he's on, gets that one in and gets ahead on the count here 0-2. Fly ball pitcher, 52% for the left-hander. And a wild cut. It was missed. Throw will be made down to first base by Flowers and a strikeout to start it.
Yeah, so you get 91, 93 on the fastball, and then we talked about the slider coming out of college. This was the best slider rated of all the amateur pitchers. And there it is. It's one of those traditional. You start it on the plate, and then it goes off the plate to your back foot if you're a right-handed hitter.
This lineup loaded with right-handers for the Orioles. Chris Davis, the lefty, the righty switch hitter. Why? Well, Rondon, the left-handers, are hitting .215, and the right-handers are hitting .313. That about sums it up. Ground ball into the bat. Short hop, misplayed. Gillespie's throw is wild. Goes into the camera booth. It'll be an extra base. And there's one of the problems this White Sox team has had all season long, their defense.
Yeah, and you know, if they ever have a lead, and we've seen it all year long in a lot of one-run games, like the last 4 games against the... But it's pretty routine play if you catch it, and then of course he doesn't. So right here, he's going to just exacerbate the whole misplay by heaving it by first base Jose Abreu. So you get a break, lead off, or actually 1-out double, so to speak.
It's amazing on one play you get 2 errors, but that's what happens there. An error is charged on the misplay with the glove, and an error is charged on the errant throw that allows him to go to second base. So 2 errors, 1 play, and the Orioles immediately get a runner in scoring position. And here is Adam Jones. Adam looking for his first hit in the series. He is 0 for 8 and 0 for his last 11. Adam will take it up. The Orioles have not had a hit with a runner in scoring position in the last 4 games. They are 0 for their last 16 in these situations. They are still the #1 team in baseball, though, with a .308 average. Rondon's pitch, and there's that nasty thing that bites off the plate.
Yeah, that's the breaking ball. So, boy, when you have a fastball, and they said he's back down off 97 when he got his first starts, or actually came out of the bullpen. I mean, his second appearance was in that no fan game back on the 29th of April. We saw him, came in and retired 3. He was throwing 95, 96. So he's starting, trying to command his fastball, at least as far as making quality pitches, a little bit better.
Look back to second base. That is the only appearance, that 1 inning he worked in that ball game against the Orioles. I mean, his contract was purchased on April 20, called up from the minors, made his debut on the 21st against Cleveland, and here against the Orioles, first start against the O's. Pitch to Jones, another pitch, same place, same result on that cut. Both of those pitches have been in the dirt that Adams gone after. That's how good that pitch is. 1-2.
Yeah, and you talked about how glary it is. You don't pick up the slider, and that means you don't pick up the spin. So it's easy to look a little silly doing that, and you're going, boy, how did you swing at that ball? Well, you
can't see it.
Yeah, well, pitch recognition is one of the keys to hitting.
Yep.
And it can be shadows, it can be stuff. I mean, the fact that the good slider, you don't really see it because the spin is so tight.
And the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Adam pounds on, but it's going to be foul. A little ricochet out onto the field.
Yeah, a little break for Carlos Rodon. I mean, you know, you throw 2, you bounce, and he swings at him, and then you didn't want to throw that one up, and he did. And you get a little bit lucky. Unlucky that Reimolds out at second.
Rodon has actually had a better opponent batting average with runners on than when they're empty this year. When there's nobody on, average is up there at 324. When somebody's on, it's 243. So it seems to work better out of the stretch early on in his major league career. And that's going to be down low. He wanted to see if Jones would go after yet another one, and Adam did not. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, we saw Tyler Flowers, who caught on Friday night. Boy, he was all over the dirt behind home plate here with John Danks pitching, breaking balls, sliders, change-ups, trying to keep the ball down. And of course, he was very successful doing that, or they didn't score against him.
Outfield deep, wind is blowing off the lake and in for the start of our ball game. Left-hander's delivery and just nicked that one off the end of the bat, and Adam will keep his at-bat alive.
Yeah, I told him you just need to hit one softly. I said, go wrap your arms around Manny Machado, who hits him hard, hits him soft, and just try to get something. Look where they are. We were joking about it yesterday. Look where they are and then hit it where they aim. And that's not easy to do.
Adam with a big .346 average against left-handers, 5th best in the American League, trying to get a run in here early. 2-2 delivery on the way to him, and he's going to do it. That ball's fair. It'll roll into the corner. Going over to get it's Cabrera. Coming around is Reimold. He'll score easily. It's a double, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
You know, we talked about coming out of college, which he did, North Carolina State, where he was a star. And they get to the big leagues, and what they have in common, the good hitters, and Adam Jones, even though he's been struggling as one of them, if you throw 4 sliders and the 4th one is not as good as the other 3, you can get yourself in trouble. And Jones, he looks for it. I don't know if he's looking for it, but he adjusts to it, and the Orioles are on the board.
That'll be RBI number 38 for Adam, and Reimold reaching on that error comes around to score the 2 errors that put him at second base. So the Orioles bust out of the 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position and pick up the base hit in their first chance at it. Now Davis gets an opportunity. Chris 2 for 8 in the series, and he'll take the pitch for a strike at the knees. Marcus Patello is home plate umpire, one of the new umps. Teams really do not have a read on the strike zone. They'll see there. This is Ted Barrett's crew. He's at second base. Scott Berry and Chris Conroy, the other members of the foursome. And that pitch way outside. Let that one go up high and got away from him. And it's 1-1. Now let's see what Chris can do against the left-handers. .299 coming in against lefties, a very solid number, well above the .213 against right-handers. See, Davis, Jones, Machado, and Snyder all have very solid averages against lefties.
Yeah, Davis and Snyder, if you're just watching for one of the few times, are left-handed hitters.
And that's way outside, gets away, but it goes on the third base side, so no way for Jones to move up.
Yeah, not only does he block it, he actually shovels it towards third base. So you're already in scoring position, and a very good base run.
It goes the other way, and you move up to third easily.
Exactly.
If it roll down the first baseline. Chris Davis this year, .253 in these situations for the Orioles. Jones being held tight to the bag with a shift on. The shortstop Ramirez is right behind him at second. 2-1. Pitch on the way, and a big swing on one. Probably like to have back. You've got a good look at that one.
Yeah, well, that's the perfect slider. Starts on the plate and then just right to the outside corner. Now he made a couple of those to Adam Jones and then left one up, and he doubled.
Davis 2-2 delivery to him, way outside again. Rondon, I'll mention because of some of the pitches we've seen, has 3 wild pitches, and you can see why that can happen, and maybe the way it's gone here so far, surprisingly he hasn't had a few more with all the movement he's got. So the Orioles on the base pass will be alert and alive, try and pick up a little extra 90 should he bounce one. 3-2 count and foul back.
Yeah, see, those are the those are quality pitches, and I think one of the reasons Chris Davis, he's able to flick a lot of balls foul and then hope to get better pitches. And against left-handers, all you got to kind of do is watch his front shoulder. I remember the late Mike Flanagan saying when he became a specialist, he said all the good ones, they try to just wait a little bit longer and make sure the front shoulder stays closed.
And he is on with a walk. Well, the Orioles got a couple on here.
And it really kind of sets it up by the Gillespie error. Cabrera, Eaton, and Garcia. We don't like, put a big X there with a great play yesterday. Gillespie, Ramirez, Sanchez, Abreu, and then Flowers. So we just got to put the no danger thing. And here comes Coop, as they call him here, Don Cooper.
So a little talk here now for the starts. And remember, he's appeared in 12 games. It's only his 10th start. It's been the early part of the ball game where the left-hander has struggled for them. The first time to the lineup, opponents are hitting .329, then it goes down to .259 the second time through, and then down to .239 the third time through. That's somewhat unusual. Generally, the first time through, the number's pretty good for starters, and then the second time, hitters have adjusted. Ironically, in this game, both Rondon and Gonzalez of the Orioles have the same kind of numbers. For Gonzalez, first time through is when they hit him hardest, and then second, third times it drops off each time.
Yeah, for Miguel, 21 out of his first 38 runs, first between the first and third inning. And of course, Miguel Gonzalez has a little more experience, so for a youngster, and you mentioned only 22, you get here in a hurry because he's got one of those arms, not because they gave him over $6 million. It's just they thought he could help them, and then you got to learn how to get people out.
So Steve Pearce, another right-handed bat in there. Pearce goes after the first pitch, center field. Eaton, remember the wind's blowing in a little bit to right. He'll make the catch. Runners will tag, and advancing is Jones. Davis will stay at first as the throw comes into second base. So Pearce retired, and there are two down. And the ball traveled in the wind yesterday. If you were a left-handed hitter, you could get it going out towards right, where that right center power alley. May be the case again today.
Yeah, I think it's maybe. I mean, if you look at the flags to the left of the center field out here, they're blowing kind of towards us, and then ones, I suppose, maybe would help right down the line. Yesterday, the Machado home run, even though it was into the wind, was right down the line, and he hit it real hard.
Well, we'll know when the wind switches because all of our papers end up on the floor. So, as has already happened when the wind comes blowing in. A lot of discussions going on here now as they have runners at first and third, Jones and Davis. Flowers went out, talked to Rondon, and now here is Paredes. Designated hitter, 0 for 4 in the series and 0 for his last 10. And he goes after the first pitch. Ramirez at short, a force at second base, and that's where they go together. So the Orioles will pick up a run helped out by 2 errors, 1 hit, and 2 left on base. We'll see some baseball. It'll be better for them if the Orioles can avoid the sweep here today and get a W. Take a look at the starting lineup. The White Sox have Eaton, Abreu, and Cabrera, LaRoche, Garcia, Gillespie, Ramirez, Flowers, and Sanchez. Avisel Garcia hitting well and made that great catch off Davis yesterday.
So Miguel Gonzalez, nice mix of pitches, fastballs, anywhere from about 89 to hit 93 the other day. Did not have good fastball command. Ended up throwing 3 home runs at Texas. Curveball, sliders, that's the breaking balls to change. One of his most important pitches, that's the splitter. ERA has gone up because he did give up 6 runs in 4 1/3 innings last game. Again, usually gives you a chance to win. Just a little bit out of sorts against the Rangers, and of course they had hit 4 home runs the night before, and then they added 3 more in the second game of that 4-game series in Baltimore.
Orioles are 8-6 in the starts for Gonzalez. His first pitch in their first strike. That run, by the way, in the first was unearned. Orioles taking advantage of that double error play. Here is Eaton. He's looking for his first hit in the series. He's had an 0 for 9, dropping down to that 243 mark that you see. Orioles with Machado in at third, recognizing his speed. It'll be taken down low. Take a look at who's hot and who's not.
Yeah, so we know Manny, American League Player of the Month, and I told Chris Tillman on the way out to the ballpark, I said, you did a Houdini act. I said, you probably don't even know who that is. He said, well, yeah, somebody else mentioned that. And I said, well, let me put this as succinctly as I can. They dropped him in the East River in a box with chains around him, and he was able to escape. He says, now I see what you're talking about. And one of the reasons was he got Eaton out every time they would have a runner in scoring position.
Eaton had so many opportunities yesterday in that regard. Head on the count here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez's delivery to him, not a good cut. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities.
Yeah,
Eaton, Abreu, and Cabrera.
Yeah, 2-1 pitch, looking for a good pitch, and when you're not seeing the ball well, that's the kind of pitches you swing at.
Here's the 2-2 on the way, and that one in the air to left field. Reimold. He'll put it away, and an out. Take a look at our American Live Casino Inside the Numbers.
For Miguel, and it's probably why we had the Black Blazers on today. In the daytime, he gets a lot of runs, so that's a good thing. But the record, and that's why it is 2-1. But look at their earned run average.
9.6 runs he gets, but gives up 7.7. Yikes!
It's timely pitching.
We may be here a while. Here's Abreu. Abreu's got a 6-game hit streak. Jose Abreu's had a 3 for 8 in this series, including a game-winning home run in the opener, the only run that was scored in that game. For Gonzalez against the White Sox, he is 1-1 in his career against them. This is the first start he has ever had here at U.S. Cellular in Chicago. The 0-1 to Abreu. Defense shifted. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball.
Yeah, it was described that Jose Abreu has a little bit of a slider speed bat, which means that, you speed it up if you hang a breaking ball. And of course, we've seen his approach. Once he got to home run, double, triple. If he hits a single, he will have hit for the cycle in this series. So out over the plate, that's where he likes it.
And a ground ball into that shift. J.J. Hardy on the short hop. And he's gone.
Take a look at the Oriole defense. Least amount of errors in the American League. Great to pitch to this kind of defense. Reimold in left, Jones, Davis. That's your outfield. Machado, Hardy, Scope, Pierce, and then Caleb Joseph started the game on Friday night. And then back behind the plate here on Sunday.
So Gonzalez gets the first 2 out, and that'll bring Cabrera to the plate. Elgey's got a 3-game hit streak. He's gone 3 for 7 in this series. First inning, Gonzalez has given up 7 runs on the year. As Jim mentioned, the first 3 are generally the toughest for him before he settles in. Cabrera with a 2 for 5, lifetime off Gonzalez. 1-0 count with 2 down. Infield back to actually a regular alignment. Foul back. Buck Showalter was meandering around the press conference as he usually does today. I say that smiling. And he says things off the top that he's just wondering about. He said, I wonder whether or not in baseball now we have more defenses that are shifted than are straight up in the course of a season. I'm not sure, but it's got to be pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right here, if you look at our defense, this is a typical back in the day defense straight away.
Yeah.
You see Hardy a little bit up the middle by a step, so he'll take any ball that's hit the pitcher can't get to, and Miguel falls off a little bit. Machado, it doesn't hit balls down the line, even though he has hit a double that way, but on the ground. So it's it's a variation, but you always did this.
Yes.
In my day, you didn't overplay, and that's what the new shifts do. And then, as he also said, they're going to start keeping the numbers of guys that have beaten the shift.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
3-1, ball put up in the air to left. Reimold. These will be interesting with that high sky and the wind blowing. Nolan gets there and puts it away. Great inning. Gonzalez retires the side in order, and after 1, the Orioles are leading it 1-0. $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Baseball Bucks scratch-offs. Win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Just visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Now the Orioles come in 42-39 at the midway point. They are 2 games behind the amazing league-leading Yankees, who just keep winning. They've won 3 in a row now. Tampa Bay's 3 games out, so's Toronto. The Red Sox are 7 behind the pace. Tampa Bay's lost 7 in a row coming into today's play. Rondon's delivery, and that'll be taken by Hardy away for a ball. The Rays in the 7-game losing streak are hitting 182 as a team. Hardy, Scope, and Joseph, and it's outside to him.
Yeah, and the irony is that only Tampa Bay has in the American League East a winning record on the road.
Yep. 1-1 delivery on the way. Hardy, that's a bouncer. Rondon having trouble finding spots a little bit here early on. 2-1 count.
Well, he's going to throw a lot of pitches. He just doesn't, at least most he's walked since May in any game is 3. But he can be wild in the strike zone.
Ground ball to Ramirez. He's got it. Hardy is retired. Let's open up our Major League Notebook. Take a look at our East Winds page. Dustin Pedroia, he hit in the cage after increasing his running a day earlier on Friday, so he may be activated against the Yankees next weekend. Toronto rotation struggling. Look at these numbers. R.A. Dickey yesterday, 5 runs, 11 hits in the ball game, 5 2/3 innings. Estrada only 2 1/3 innings last time out, 2 runs. Matt Boyd, he gave up 7 runs, never got an out. Drew Hutchinson gave up 5 runs and 4 2/3. That's the last time through the rotation. Only Burley has had a decent start in the last 5 games for that ball club.
Yeah, the master of changing speeds.
Ball put up in the air. What a way to come back. Jonathan Scope. Goodbye home run. That's why he was activated. And the Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Welcome back to the majors.
Well, he's certainly well rested. That's one way of looking at it. Carlos Rodon looks at it a little bit differently, and I think he hit it to some Oriole fans in the left center field bleachers.
Well, it didn't take long for that move to pay off, did it? 4th home run of the year, 8th RBI.
Well, Ryan Flaherty, until Friday night, and where he had a couple of tough at-bats against Hanks, really done a nice job against lefties. I mean, not power, but Scope brings back another element to your lineup. We take a look right here. I mean, he hit 16 home runs last year. The swing really smoothed out in spring training. And again, this is what he can do. And he's looking at his buddy Manny.
And the pitch will be taken away by Caleb Joseph.
Well, just think how exciting. I mean, you're a second-year player. You have a really good spring. You make a lot of adjustments. You're a really good defensive second baseman. Really unparalleled as far as turning the double play, and then all of a sudden you get a knee problem that you never had, and you're hoping it's going to get well, and now you come back. And a lot of kudos goes to all the training staff. Brady Anderson, who, he was talking to you in the interview. He said had to work out. Well, how about 2-a-days? I saw some of the tape. I'm going, geez, I'm glad I never got hurt when Brady Anderson was around.
Adam Jones giving a little what for as he goes by there. So the Orioles use the long ball. Caleb Joseph will take the pitch. It's going to be away for Rondon. Oh, strike called.
Yeah, he looked down. Well, yeah, he looked down at Scott Barry down at first, and because he's looking at how far the bat carried.
Said it went around. That's the first home run Rondon has given up here at U.S. Cellular. He's, as Jim mentioned, he's got that perfect record here at home, and had not given up a home run in his home ballpark in the 27 innings worked here. Foul back by Caleb Joseph. So the Orioles jump out to a 2-0 lead, which has not been the case, obviously, near early on in the month of July. Not only are the Orioles trying to avoid the sweep, but also tie the season series with the White Sox. And that one fouled off. White Sox haven't won a season series against the Orioles since 2008. Right now they have a 3-2 edge in the 5 games that have been played.
Well, it seems like the White Sox, and they're not a good road team, a little bit like the Orioles, 16-27, but worse, and they get an extra life when they beat the Cardinals 2 in a row in St. Louis.
And there is ball 4, and he stays a long time waiting just to be sure. So the Orioles get another runner on here. Still time to get on board for the drama of the second half. Save on ticket prices. The Birdland Summer 6-pack available. Any 6 remaining games throughout the season. Your choice. 20% off the cost of single game tickets. You select the games. Go to Orioles.com/6-pack or 888-848-BIRD. So 2 walks surrendered. Turning the order over now to Manny Machado, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Manny with a 3-game hit streak. 2 for 8 in this series with a home run.
Yeah, in this game you never assume anything. You come in, just had a tough series, won 1 of 4 against the Rangers of the Orioles. You get Dangs, who had lost 4 in a row. He pitches a marvelous game.
And outside.
And again, the guy scheduled today, they moved back a day, was going to be Chris Sale. And he's working on 8 consecutive games with 10 or more strikeouts. He'll pitch tomorrow against Toronto.
The Orioles are not unhappy about that decision by Robin Ventura.
But you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Bunting for a base hit down the line. Rondon will do the other hand flip to first base. Abreu got back there to cover. And he's bunting, I would believe, for a base hit. They will give him a sacrifice on it, though. Well, it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
1 out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the wind is blowing up, but he hit one against the wind yesterday. Yeah, that's not a conventional play. Buck's not going to say anything now, but he might mention it to him. But I remember when Davey Johnson was managing here, and the Orioles arguably had playoffs in '96, wire to wire in '97. Brady Anderson would lead off, and Robbie Alomar would hit 2, and he would bunt. And it would drive Davey crazy because he could hit the ball to right field. He had home run power. And then I talked to him. I said, "Why do you do that?" He said, "My dad once told me if you get the lead, you win far more games than if you're behind that first run." And that was Robbie's mindset.
Which is true.
It is true.
Statistically. Strike taken on the outside corner. So Nolan Raimo will give it a whirl. He scored in the first inning on a double error by Gillespie at third base. One on the glove play that he didn't make. One on the throw that allowed the runner to go to second. Orioles 1 for 3 already. Runners in scoring position. Joseph at second base. Pitch taken down low. Stephanie Jones, our Maryland Lottery contestant, $500 on the home run hit by Jonathan Scope this inning. Good sign for the Orioles all the way around. I mean, they get the first run, they get the lead, they get a home run with Scope returning. Good start. 1-1 delivery way inside.
And the other factor, and it's just one of those little nuances, that we always talk about what speed does to a defense. The ground ball, or the high chopper that Nolan Raimo hits, is pretty routine unless you run every ball out like it's a 100-yard dash, and he does. So if you're Connor Gillespie, you're going, boy, I got to hurry a little bit, and a routine play is not as routine.
Big lead at second. And a swing and a miss. Another one of those eat up the right-handed hitter's pitches.
Well, it is his highest. If you look at his numbers, Gary, the velocity can be 93 to 96 or so with a fastball, but the biggest swing and miss pitch for Carlos Rodon in his first major league year is that slider.
You can see why.
And you can see he also doesn't want to give up any more runs here.
A 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Reynolds will take a fastball, and that's there for a strike. So the second strikeout by Rondon, but the Orioles are going to get a run on a hit. They'll leave a base runner on. Jonathan Scope returning for just his 9th game with the Orioles, coming off the DL today. And lo and behold, a dinger. Today, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jonathan Scope. He's an exciting player. I mean, he has been for all of his career, minors or pro, and to get him back, he's one of those guys who just adds, and I'm not saying this just because he hit the home run, but he adds a little electricity to the ball club.
Yeah, and what Buck Showalter, the Oriole manager, says, it's presence. And as a pitcher, former pitcher, I don't like the guys that hit the big fly. I don't like to give up 2- and 3-run home runs, and he does present that. And of course, he did that last year, but he struck out a lot doing it.
Here's LaRoche, who will take the pitch down for a ball. The DH and first baseman. He's done both here in this series. He's had a couple of hits, 2 for 7 in the series. Long ball threat. He's had one off Gonzalez, against whom he's 2 for 4. And that pitch will miss away.
And if you watched him Friday night, Saturday afternoon, you know you got to get ahead. If you don't throw the ball anywhere close, he'll chase once he gets into the count, but he's a very disciplined hitter to get to these 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 counts.
And he drills the ball to center field. He got a lot of that. Adam Jones seems to have it lined up, and he does, and puts it away.
Oh, the Windy City.
Yeah. Take a look at our Chief Inside the Numbers. This is the head-to-head for these two ball clubs. Kind of an interesting 5 games.
Well, it really is. And, you know, the Sale game in Baltimore, the first game of the doubleheader, was 3-2. The Orioles win the second one, get some runs, and then, you get, 1-0, 3-2. So all the 3 of the last 4 games are one-run ball games. So you can see the Orioles actually doing very well, but not scoring a lot of runs. And so far, at least lately, the White Sox have won the close games.
Orioles have the 2-0 lead here, and a swing and a miss in the off speed, and that one hurt Caleb Joseph. Garcia with that cut. He'll step out to give Joseph a moment.
Yeah, low and away slider, and he fouls it right back. And yeah, what about the irony of Garcia making that great catch when the Grateful Dead are in town and Jerry Garcia no longer performing?
In memory thereof.
Yeah, exactly. So you still get to see Garcia
in action. 0-1 delivery on the way. That'll be popped up first base side.
Yeah, really got to help everybody out. Yeah, because of the wind.
Foul territory. Yeah. 2 down.
First time I ever did a Monday night game in Wrigley Field, the wind was blowing. It looked like San Francisco, and it was the Cubs and the Giants. And Brett Butler was playing center field, and the wind's blowing in off the lake about 25, kind of like it does a Candlestick when it kicks up late in the afternoon. And somebody hit a pop fly, and he didn't get a good read, and he was almost behind shortstop when he made a sliding catch. And you get those kind of days in Chicago.
Wrigley worse than here, but
is it closer to the lake?
I don't know geographically if it is or not, but it's got more of an open space coming to Wrigley than you do here. Gonzalez pitch is going to be taken up high by Gillespie. Gillespie with a 2 for 5 in this series, committing the error in that first inning, 2 of them, allowing the unearned run. By the way, in that regard, the White Sox have given up 31 unearned runs. That is 3rd most in the American League. Balls popped up the other way. The Orioles are tied for 7th in the American League, having given up 25. So not that big a difference in unearned runs when Robin Ventura's ball club has a significantly more errors. They've committed 55 errors. The Orioles have committed 38. But the unearned runs, not much of a difference.
Right. A lot of that might be when you commit the error.
Yeah, it does.
Is it with 2 outs versus nobody out?
Yep.
I mean, the Gillespie error, with only 1 out, they end up scoring.
Inside and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Orioles heading off to Minnesota tomorrow night. Open up a 3-game series there. Hoping to go there with a victory that wipes out their modest 3-game losing streak that they are in right now. They've hit the White Sox when the White Sox are playing some of their best ball of the year. They've won 4 in a row. And a swing and a miss, tailed away.
Everybody asked me about Miguel Gonzalez, that former Oriole, now does the radio. He said, well, what about him? I said, well, he pitches. He pitches from behind. You think you're getting a fastball. You get, in that case, a good slider. He's got the splitter to get you out when he's on his game. He can pitch in and out. Not a blazer, maybe 92, 93 top out. There's the
Swing
splitter.
and a miss. He got him. There's the strikeout, the first of the ball game. 6 in a row retired by Gonzalez to start it. The Orioles lead it 2-0. Hardy, Matt Wieters stabilizing duo for the Orioles. Baltimore Sun. Good story and certainly true. From the Philadelphia Inquirer, spontaneity disappearing from kids sports. Real nice story on how kids just are not going out to play the game anymore themselves. At virtually all of the time they're under supervision of adults who sometimes seem to be more concerned about what they're doing than what the kids are doing. And whatever happened to the All-Star game in the Boston Globe, a great story about how the All-Star game used to matter, and when managers didn't worry about everybody playing or pitching guys for just 2 innings, you went to win. What happened to it?
Oh, well, I mean, it's important now only because of the home field advantage in the World Series, but we used to have meetings. And I mean, you still have, I mean, two of the years I won the Cy Young Award, 2 of the 3 years, I didn't even make the All-Star team because they still had to add people. But you would get a meeting and you did not like the National League.
That's right.
Not that you didn't respect their players, you just wanted to beat their butts. I mean, it was real simple. We didn't do it very often, but.
And that's just not true anymore. I mean, I've done the All-Star thing now 14 in a row, and it's not like that at all. It's a love fest for the players, and it's a nice exhibition, but to have it matter in deciding home field advantage in the World Series is just atrocious. 0-2 count.
Well, they
Orioles
wanted,
up 2-0.
They, I mean, Fox pays a lot of money, and they wanted people to think it's an important venue. What used to be, but not for the same reason.
And you're not fooling anybody. The pitch on the way. Jones on a swing and a miss. So Adam, who had the RBI double his first time up, becomes strikeout victim number 3.
Well, the White Sox are hoping that Carlos Rodon, and again, remember, only 22, right out of a year out of college. I mean, all of a sudden, that's nasty. 95 right on the outside corner. I mean, he struck out Reimold to end the inning at 95. So I hope he gets into a rhythm. And then you mentioned it, as the game progresses for a young pitcher, he gets better.
Which is pretty amazing for any pitcher, especially for a 22-year-old. One away. Davis coming up. Krister will walk his first time to the plate. Rodon's pitch will be taken at the knees for a strike. 0-1, 1 down. Shift on, of course, against Chris. And that one's going to miss low as well. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, you saw the ball off the bat of Adam LaRoche. You better hit it down the lines or really hit it to center field. That ball was drilled and wind knocked it down.
And that one right in on the fists. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
When we saw Eduardo Rodriguez, young lefty that the Orioles traded up for Andrew Miller last year, they described as he's playing catch with a catcher.
Ooh, man. Off Flowers. That's one of the loudest sounds I've ever heard on a ball off the catcher.
I think it knocked his glasses off.
Man. Wow. So both catchers have started the day, as catchers are prone to do, with some shots taken. No moment given for Flowers to regroup.
Well, you see a lot of umpires actually when a catcher, they'll put their hand on his back to brace him because you get knocked backwards.
And then the pitch will miss inside. A little turnover pitch
That
right
might
there.
have been his changeup. Yeah, first one he's thrown. And then that's the work in progress pitch.
A little screwball action there, if that's its true direction. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Davis, a towering fly ball. Center field. Look out. Who wants it? Circled it, and Eaton makes the catch. That was being blown around a little bit, and there are 2 down. Yesterday, in celebration of the 4th of July, the Oriole players and coaches wore the special patriotic jerseys and caps, and you can join in the celebration by bidding on these game-worn jerseys and caps at Orioles.com/auction. Each item autographed by the player who wore it. Proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. So own a piece of baseball history. Go to Orioles.com/auction and make your bid. Pierce will take the pitch outside. Steve flied out his first time up. In to get another right-handed bat in. 275 off the lefties for Steve. And a fastball up.
Yeah, swung at the first pitch and skied it to skied it to center field. And look at his numbers. When he puts the first pitch in play, 280. Pretty successful. I mean, most hitters averages 300 or better. They don't put it in play a lot. One of those counts where when you swing at it and you get a hit, everybody goes, boy, you don't have to be selective. And when you pop it up, you go,
what do you do that for?
Yeah, why don't you see a couple of pitches? I mean, I've talked over the years. I pitched against him. You talked to Ted Williams and Musial and Tony Gwynn. I'm not sure Gwynn, but those guys said, hey, we like to see pitches because they were comfortable hitting with 2 strikes.
And Pierce will draw the free pass. That is the 3rd surrendered, and the Orioles keep the inning alive here in the 3rd. So 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Rodon so far in the ball game. And that'll bring Paredes to the plate. Orioles designated hitter, still up there, leading DHs or close to it in almost every category. He is 3rd in average, 4th in home runs among DHs. By the way, the Red Sox DH is playing first base. David Ortiz is in the lineup at first, with Napoli struggling at the plate. Pitch will be taken outside for a ball. It's the 4th time he's played this season at first base.
Well, Big Papi is heating up a little bit. Get him in the lineup.
Sox have won 5 of their last 7.
Well, they're kind of coming back, especially if a lot of other teams tread water. And
that ball's going to go to center. Eaton didn't move very much, and he's got it. That'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd in Chicago. He was a prisoner of war in a German camp for 2 weeks. He escaped via the French underground. They shipped him off to Rome. And when the Americans took Rome over, he was freed in June 5 of 1944. World War II veteran, former prisoner of war, honored between innings here today. Wow. I sometimes think in this day and age, have no idea what these men and women went through in World War II. I always wonder if it happened again today, with the population currently in the U.S., head to the draft office to sign up to go fight. We move in a 2-0 lead here to the bottom of the third inning. Ramirez, Flowers, and Sanchez. Ramirez, 3-game hit streak, 2 for 6 in this series, and a pitch a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, the other factor yesterday in a 2-2 game, White Sox up 2-0 almost all game, and then Machado hit the home run off Zach Button. He put the sacrifice bunt down.
Yep.
A little ball, first of the year.
Gonzalez with a delivery, breaking ball. It's going to miss outside.
And they said he has struggled a little bit with the glove, but we certainly haven't seen that.
No.
He's always he's a leggy guy, the 6'3", 6'4". Looks like he needs to have a good meal, razor thin. I used to call Mark Belanger Blade.
Another breaking ball away. Well, he's not hitting. Only 153 for an average over the last 16 games. That's dropped him down to that current 220 mark that he's at right now. But certainly that glove at short is essential.
And then we saw him. He could steal some bases. Stole a base yesterday.
Gonzalez has retired 6 in a row. 2-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch is going to miss inside. A little tight on the strike zone, perhaps, here in a 3-1 count.
Yeah, Marcus Patillo, as you said. I mean, we saw a big strike zone the first night, as you mentioned, and predicted, because that's the word on Ted Barrett. Very consistent, though. High strikes yesterday. Chris Conroy.
And he walked him.
And that's hard to do. Alexi doesn't walk a lot unless you walk him.
And it is a leadoff walk. Take a look at our PNC minor league report.
So, right-hander pitcher Ben Rowan with Bowie. Now, you probably don't know who Ben Rowan is. So, we'll talk about him. Tim Berry is being moved to the bullpen. He's, as he was described by some of our pitching coaches up here, a mess. Boy, I love his stuff. So you can see number 7 prospect with Baseball America. And then Ben Rowan, he had the opt-out. He was Ryan Webb, traded out to the Dodgers. Webb stayed there for a day. They got the draft choice, number 74. Rowan must have had an opt-out in his contract. So he's leaving. And then 74th pick is a pretty high pick. Then you lose that. You also lose that, but you also lose the money involved.
Yep. So it looked like a deal for cash.
Yeah, I think they were trying to dump Ryan Webb.
Yep. 0-1 count. Tyler Flowers up. Flowers a 6-game hit streak. He's had a 1 for 3 in and out behind the plate in this series with Soto. He's 0 for 1 off Gonzalez. Pitch on the way, and that's going to catch the outside corner for a strike. And the reason Flowers backs off, that's the same pitch Ramirez seemingly had a couple of times for a ball.
Well, some of the players were discussing on the bunt that they were, Matt Wieters was joking. He said, a lot of times, and Chris Tillman was across the aisle, he said, sometimes you make a pitch and that ball looks like it's out. And they call it strike 1, and then you walk the guy on the same pitch.
Yep.
So what they're saying, and whether you're hitting or entire Flowers is catching today, we want consistency.
Roll over. Ramirez back.
And then another player who will go unnamed said, well, why don't they, because you get graded, why don't they take the guys with the lowest grades and they go back to the minor leagues like players do. Managers get fired, coaches, if they don't, hitting instructor gets relieved. And then you have a influx of new umpires that are being graded, and or actually there's a merit system. Yeah, well, I understand that.
And no, I'm just.
And then I came out. I was doing my scorecard in an air-conditioned radio booth that Farmer has down there, and I ran into somebody who used to work for the commissioner's office. And part of the whole deal about the replays, I didn't notice, is that former umpires, not arbitrary people, former umpires And this is part of the deal. They are the ones that are in the booth.
And veteran umpires.
Yes, exactly.
Which is why you have so many new umpires we see around doing games. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
No, but it's a good old boy club in a way. I mean, I can understand the reasoning, except they have friends, and if you keep replaying calls, but you wouldn't think it mattered because they don't replace them. You know, got a job for life. Joe Torre said it best. He says, if I don't manage well, I get fired. My coaches get fired. Players get traded, sent to the minors, and the umpires go to the next city.
But Joe's now in charge of that.
That's there you go.
How things change when the perspective changes. A 1-2 and a throw over.
Well, we're in the Windy City. The wind will change every once in a while.
1-2 the count here.
Yeah, Miguel would love to throw a grounder fast infield here. We've seen that over the last 2 night and day games.
Ramirez, of course, can run 9 out of 11. He's got a pretty good lead over there.
Of course, Flowers did come in to the Friday night game with home runs in 3 consecutive ball games. And he's a big dude.
Runner goes. Throw down. Caleb Joseph on the money. He's out. Good throw by the Oriole catcher. And actually, Jonathan Scope had to wait for Ramirez to get there, and he's caught stealing.
Well, the new word, tagology. Nobody does it better than Jonathan Scope. And, of course, he laser from Caleb Joseph.
Ventura's asking the home plate umpire to hang on a minute while his video people take a look at it, whether or not he wants to challenge.
We'll take a look. Throw beats him. That doesn't mean a whole lot anymore. It's, do you tag him? Did he get it under? Did the arm get there before the body?
He's out.
Yeah, looked it.
And Robert Ventura agrees. No challenge. So that takes away that leadoff walk in the inning. No small matter. 1 down.
Only the second attempted steal against Miguel Gonzalez, which is an amazing number in itself.
And the 2-2 will be fouled back into the screen. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. 3rd inning here in our Sunday afternoon ball game. The White Sox trying to get it 5 in a row, and the Orioles trying to end a 3-game losing streak. It's been a good pitchers 3-game set. They have dominated. Pitchers have here in Chicago. 2-2 count on Flowers. And that's way outside, scooped up by Joseph. 3-2.
Well, for Miguel, it's about pitch count, so maybe you want to shut him out, but you also don't want to get into these deep counts. You know, the bullpen relatively rested here in Chicago because of Jimenez pitched a great game on Friday night, lost 1-0. Yesterday, Tillman went 5, Bud Norris picked him up.
3-2. And Flowers will get down swinging, a little added zip on that one, and a second strikeout for Gonzalez.
Yeah, you know, again, he's got 3 other pitches in his back pocket, and he just buzzed it by you out of the zone. And big guy, strong guy, chases a ball. Easy to swing at that pitch when the count's full. 2 strikes.
So Gonzalez trying to go through the lineup the first time facing the minimum. Sanchez, number 9 hitter, has not had a hit in the series. He's gone 0 for 7 with that 167 overall batting average. Manny Machado, even with the bag at 3rd against him. Going to take the bunt away. Off-speed pitch will miss outside 4 ball. The 1-0, and that'll be taken up high. So Gonzalez falls behind him 2-0. On the road this season for Miguel, he's gone 3-4. ERA is just under 5. This is his 8th road start of the year. ERA on the road up about a run from what it's been in his career. That one fouled back up overhead, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on Sanchez.
Yeah, you got to go all the way back to May 13th for Miguel, where he threw 100 pitches. I mean, 98, 96, 7, 4, 8, 6 2/3. In the last 3 starts, 4 1/3, 5 and 4 1/3. The pitch count important. And again, the 15 home runs, and that's what's hurt him the most. The long ball.
Sanchez almost hit and was hit. Home plate umpire says caught him on the thigh and that right leg, and Joseph took another beating on that one. So a hit batter, that'll be the 6th hit batter of the year by Miguel Gonzalez.
Yeah, when I watch Miguel pitch, and the only way that you pretty much do this in this count is what your front shoulder does. When his front shoulder, that's his left shoulder, his steering wheel gets closed, he can go anywhere he wants to. When he doesn't quite load, in other words, get into his right side, the ball is a ball out of his hand, and that's when he gets wild, that's when he gets balls up, and that's when he becomes hittable. So it's really almost a 2 or 3 inch thing. So just watch his left shoulder, and if he starts way open, in other words, an angle right at Adam Eaton, that's when he gets himself in trouble.
So the runner on is with 2 down, and top of the order, Eaton, who flied out 0 for 10 now in this series. Eaton has really struggled here in his home ballpark. His batting average here at home coming in was 184, 5th lowest in the league for a player in his own home ballpark. He'll take that one for a strike. Eaton a fly ball out last time up. The Chicago team, as we said, while they have won the first 2 games, they've been about pitching. Their offense has struggled. They are 12th in average and next to last in runs, 2nd fewest home runs in the American League. 0-1 delivery by Gonzalez in the dirt, stopped by Joseph. 1 ball, 1 strike. Who would play shortstop if J.J. Hardy had to come out of the ball game today? Buck Showalter spoke to that with Ryan Flaherty being moved off the roster to get Jonathan Scope back on, and he said first Paredes, then Pierce. Would he move Manny Machado to short? He said no, but don't hold me to that. That ball down the line in left field, that's going to fall in. Here's the race, cut off nicely by Reimold. Throw will come to third. They got to hold the runner. If that goes by him, perhaps a run scores, but it didn't, and Eaton's got a double.
Yeah, he really gets to it easy, and he's playing pretty much straight away. Because any ball times you slice it, not only it's going to slice even more because it's into the wind. So it's really not a bad pitch. It's the count. He's looking for a fastball because Miguel's gotten a little bit out of rhythm. And then right here, playing in front of him. I'm not sure you want to throw behind a runner, but Eaton might have been bang bang. Reimold got it so quick at second. So now all of a sudden, this is exactly what the White Sox wanted. It's one of those down innings for Miguel. You know, the leadoff walk, they throw him out, and now you got your best hitter at the plate.
Abreu with a chance to tie the ball game up on a base hit, and he's hitting .357 with runners in scoring position. White Sox have had a lot of chances in this series. 2 down. Gonzalez delivers to him. Abreu will take it for a strike. The White Sox are 3 for 18 through the first 2 games with a runner in scoring position. And a chance to get a lot more runs than what they put up in this series. Abreu 6th in the league in these situations with his average. One delivery on the way, and Abreu right through that one. Ooh. Take a look at our Express Stat, LifeBridge Health Partner for locations. Visit whywaitinther.com.
Well, you can see Kipnis. He came into Baltimore, and the Orioles kind of got him down. Pedroia loves to hit. He's hitting like 3-6 over there, and then Altuve, who last year batting title, most hits in the American League, and then Alex Rodriguez.
Abreu 11 plus here at home. 0-2 count. And a little chin music to back him off a little bit. 1-2.
We can see the target from Caleb Joseph. It goes back to what the scouting report on Jose is, that not that he can't hit the fastball out over the plate. That's what he hit over the right center field fence off of Ubaldo Jimenez for the only run on Friday. It's just if you get that fastball up and in, it's hard for him to get to it.
Sanchez off third, Eaton off second. 1-2 delivery. Abreu will take it outside. With those numbers we showed you, an 11-game hit streak here at home. Abreu's number 311. His batting average at home overall this year. He's had 14 home runs. He split them up evenly home and road. Important moment in the ball game here in the third. Orioles unearned run in the first inning. Home run Jonathan Scope in the second. First base runners here in the third for the White Sox. 2-2, and Abreu goes down swinging. He got him. Gonzalez gets his third strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left in scoring position. 2-0 O's. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Royal Farms. Royal Farms ATMs are surcharge free. Get your cash for nothing. Bank or credit card fees may still apply. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer on this Sunday. Great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the 4th of July weekend. And the Orioles trying to make it a little better with a victory here in this game 3. At Minnesota tomorrow night, Wei-Yin Chen, Phil Hughes, the scheduled starters. Be with you at 7:30 for O's Extra. 8 o'clock for the ball game. Kevin Gausman, Kyle Gibson, Ubaldo Jimenez, and Tommy Malone are the other starters scheduled in that series.
Yeah, the Twins have a big 4-game series in Kansas City. They've won 2 out of 3. And have not seen their score come up yet.
They had Ryan Presley out of the ball game yesterday with an injury. They thought it was a shoulder injury, and then Paul Molitor, their manager, said after the game it might be that he's got a lat problem, and they're going to do an MRI. No report on him today. Hardy with a 1-1. Fastball's in there for a strike. JJ grounded out his first time up.
Are we seeing Santana? I know Hughes is pitching the
pitching
first
today.
Game. No, okay. There, yeah, they just 80-game suspension, so he had rehab, so he's back.
And a swing and a miss to get him. That's strikeout number 4.
Well, a totally different kid. In the first inning, the error, and then the double by Jones, and then the home run by Scope. But you can see, I mean, this is number 1 round stuff. 95. Apparently, he came up in April, and a couple of relief pitches. We saw him throw 96, 97. So he's backed off a little bit to throw strikes, but he's got a power arm.
Jonathan Scope, home run on his first at bat, returning to the Orioles.
Yeah, might have been a little slow slider. It just sails out of here against the wind. I mean, that's the impressive thing. But right now he's going, boy, hit this. 96.
Last played against the Red Sox on April 17. 9 rehab appearances between AA, High A with Bowie and Frederick. Pitch way outside. Began the season with a pretty good bat. He had the 7 RBIs in 9 games, earning the position of second base. Now back today. 1 ball, 2 strikeout on Scope. Jonathan a tapper. Gillespie. He got him. 2 out. Orioles are going to return on Friday, and a fan favorite promotion returns to the yard. The first 20,000 21 and over at the Orioles Nationals game that night are going to get an Orioles plaid floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. Add to your Birdland Summer wardrobe with this instant fan collectible. Tickets are going fast. Get yours. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Wear a Madras shirt, polka dot pants, and then put your floppy hat on. You will be the star.
I wonder if Jim Hunter, who I did the games with, has Googled Madras yet. Jimbo, come on, get on that computer. I'm gonna go. Did you ever wear a Madras shirt?
I still have some.
Oh, okay.
Swing and a miss. I'm not sure I could fit into them now, but I love Madras shirts. I thought they were beautiful for summer.
Well, yeah.
Stay untucked. They're not bad shirts. I told you last night, Madras shirts and Argyle socks. You're in. Caleb Joseph.
Well, with the Grateful Dead here, you can get tie-dye poisoning in this city. You know, I mean,
that is a foul ball outside of first.
Well, that's something you go when you go to a Thai restaurant. No, not this weekend. Not with the Grateful Dead here for 3 concerts.
I wonder how much merchandise was sold in this city having to do with the Grateful Dead this weekend. Their final performance as a Grateful Dead is tonight.
What kind of merchandise are you talking about?
Well, he thought he had him on that. Didn't get the call. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
There's the changeup, and again, when you get more comfortable, early in a ball game, your 2 best pitchers, fastball, slider, and then as the game goes, you can use them all.
1-2 delivery on the way. I was referring to shirts,
I know.
hats, pants, where I saw some like sleeping pants that they were selling. Bands. Oh yeah, you got to have the headbands. Oh my. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. And that one fouled off on the front of the screen.
So you're talking apparel.
I am talking apparel.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. The other is used as evidence in criminal cases. 2-2 with 2 down.
Well, Chicago's such a wonderful city, and you got the Lake Michigan out here, and you got the parks going all the way up, and that's where Soldier Fields is.
And that will be hauled in right field. Garcia got it. So Rondon has a 1-2-3 inning, his first of the ball game. The Orioles, though, have the lead 2-0. To that kid. All right, our Major League Notebook. We take a look at our Sunday column since Minnesota's coming up next. Interesting, I thought, from the Tribune, Minnesota Tribune, talking about Joe Mauer. He's not the hitter he was, and it seems like the anti-Mauer crowd wants to believe that it's a strategy that he has adopted. It's much simpler than that. Mauer's not the hitter he was because he's not the hitter he was. Baseball history is filled with hitters who peaked at 26, 27, 28, and then started to slide. He still, though, is being used up in the order, and as the writer noted, Paul Molitor doesn't have anybody else that pitchers fear more in that lineup, so keep him there.
Oh, that came out just as he got his first 4-hit game last night.
Yes.
Now, I know Patrick Brucey. He did have a major concussion in 2013. And that will affect you. All you have to do is look at one of his former teammates. MVP, Justin Morneau.
Yep.
And you start talking the difference to players that have had major concussions. It's that little bit of a reflex.
Yeah.
Joe Mauer, the other factor was they gave him all that money, $23, $24 million, to catch, and now he's playing first. He was such a good catcher. Won 3 batting titles early on. So, yeah, it's easy to drop from that level.
Absolutely. I mean, the knees only can handle that position for so long. Bottom half of the 4th inning, going to be foul back. And the Orioles protecting a 2-0 lead. Jonathan Scope, his 4th home run, came in the 2nd inning after the Orioles got an unearned run on a double by Jones. Those are the 2 that are up there on the board. Gonzalez has held him down. 1 hit, a double by Eaton in the 3rd inning. Ball will be popped back again, almost same place, and out of play. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, if you go by scouting reports, what the White Sox want to do is get somebody on and hope they can hit the big fly, and that's the one thing. If you look at the numbers, the resume of Miguel Gonzalez, he's thrown home runs, and that's easy to do in Camden Yards.
Inside.
Yeah, it's a tight strike zone. Of the 3 umpires we've seen, this is, I'm not meaning this negative, this is probably the best hitter's umpire zone because they're not getting balls off the corner, and looks like it has to be in that little rectangle that hitters like.
2-2 delivery on the way by Gonzalez. That'll go to short. J.J. Hardy reaches, and that's an out.
Yeah, nice pitch and even nicer defense. You got to read it. You got to have the fast feet. You got to get the good jumps. And 3 consecutive Gold Gloves. That certainly could have been a base hit, snared by the J.J. Hardy at short.
1 down here in the 4th inning. 1 leadoff man is reached in the ball game. Gonzalez good at that. 70% of leadoff batters retired this year. Here is LaRoche, flied out to center field, his first time up. Shift employed. 1 down. Showed bunt, drops it to 3rd. If it stays fair, it's a hit. It won't.
No, it's the way you should do it. If you're Robin Ventura, you got to like that. I mean, they signed him to hit home runs, but when you put the shift on, we saw Chris Davis do it early on. It was almost a ground. You and Mike Bordick were doing the game. It was almost like a ground rule double.
Yeah. Well, if you can get it down the line with spin into foul territory, the shortstop's got the 3rd baseman. In this case, Manny's got so far to go to get to it. If you have any speed, you got a chance.
So bunt and scamper.
Bunt and scamper. I like it.
Sounds like
another way to beat the shift.
Something that we had to eat last night. Bunt and scamper.
Scamper. Well done, please. LaRoche with the 0-1 count. Good. Try it again. Nope.
No. Well, that's what's so interesting to me is, they hit a bullet that would have probably been a home run in most parts, and the wind knocked it down. And Adam Jones got it, and then he does the prudent play. You're down by 2 runs. You're looking for base runners. Drop 1 down. I just don't get the idea that he really works on it a lot. So it's hard to do.
Boy, it could pay big dividends for the ball club.
Won't be playing over there.
0-2 delivery goes right to him. Manny Machado. He's got it. And there are 2 away here in the 4th inning. Get in on the baseball action with Masson. Text the word Orioles to 29292 for team alerts and chances to win exclusive prizes all season long, including meet and greets with your favorite players. That's Orioles 29292 for O's alerts you can't miss. 2 down, bases empty here in the 4th inning. Avisail Garcia coming up. He popped out his first time up. During his 7-game hit streak, he's 11 for 28, hitting at a 400 clip during this streak he's on. And he'll take that one outside for a ball. Garcia 0 for 3 now, and the only times he has faced the Orioles starter.
You just try to stay away from that up and out over the plate zone. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but certainly capable of hitting it. But he can hit the ball hard up the middle, right center. And the catch yesterday, heartbreaking.
Going for the long one. He's hitting .346 against lefties, but .260 against the right-handers so far. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 away. Another good crowd on hand here at U.S. Cellular. White Sox generating some interest with wins in their first two.
Yeah, they've won 4 in a row, 8 out of 12. They're playing in a division where Kansas City and Minnesota playing better.
Two-one delivery on the way to the middle. Nobody's going to get it. Just hit hard enough to get through.
Yeah, that's pretty much his approach, I would imagine. He's only 24. Sooner or later, he's going to get a lot of at-bats, and then he'll probably, with his size, and he's a big kid, going to hit some home runs without even trying.
So with 2 down, Garcia gets the second hit. Each team has only 2 hits in this game, and it'll bring Gillespie to the plate. Chance at redemption in a game of redemption. He struck out his first time up, but he committed the error, double error, in the first inning that allowed the Orioles to score. He put the shift on against the third baseman. He got called out on strikes first at bat, and he's bunting for a base hit. He can't get it down either. Machado will stay right where he was.
Well, Buck Showalter was talking about the shift. You alluded to it early, and he was saying sometimes, I'm sure this is one of those, but he said sometimes you encourage people to actually bunt because you fear what's going to happen when they swing the bat. I think right here, when not that Gillespie can't hit a home run when it kind of blowing down the right field line, but you just got to pick your poison when you're going to do it.
Well, Gillespie hitting .250 here in July so far, looking for his first home run of the month. Orioles have started this month off with the 1-3 record. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. On at first base with a short lead, Garcia, held by Pierce, and that's going to be away. A lot of pitches being thrown again, not unusual for a Miguel Gonzalez start, up to 64 now in the 4th inning. Not bad. He'd like it to be a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that the fastball command has been a little bit off the last 2 games, and he's given up about 10 runs in those 2 starts. 4 2 times before, 6 the last game, and a little over 10 innings. So trying to establish all his pitches because the fastball's not working.
Down to first, Pierce has got it. Fair ball, and a play made to record the out. So Steve Pierce gloves it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Our Honda do-ups will be Machado, Reimold, and Jones when we come back to Chicago. Fans about the wild card. It matters. Talking about teams that maybe looking to buy or sell as you get towards the trading deadline at the end of the month. Yet right now in the American League, Angels, Minnesota tied for the wild card spot. Orioles a game out. Tigers. You see Tampa Bay and Toronto. Even Boston. Boston's only 6 games out. So at the beginning, first 2 months of the season, it looked as though there was no way a wild card team could come out of the American League East. Well, it could.
Yeah, it could. And I mean, the names out there: Johnny Cueto of Cincinnati. I mean, every day, Cole Hamels of the Phillies. Who's going to get him? And then you're always going to look for an upgrade.
Yep.
And the Red Sox, they have to. They spent so much money. Whether it's Sandoval, whether it's Ramirez, and they upgraded their pitching staff. Everybody's saying, well, Buchholz might become available. Well, he's turned into their #1 guy again, pitching really like well. He's Clay Buchholz, and he stayed healthy, and he gives you a chance to win every time.
That pitch will be taken for a ball. And as we mentioned, Samajo threw so well against the Orioles yesterday. His name's floating around, particularly with Toronto attached to it in a possible deal. 2-0 delivery and a big cut. He was looking for one to drive ahead in the count there and missed it. 2-1.
Yeah, everybody's going to try to get better. And Samaje, we went to Oakland last year from the Cubs. They were out of the race. That'll happen again. They've got a real good shortstop.
2-1 delivery on the way, and Manning on another rip. He struck out, had a sacrifice. You see with the home runs per at bat since 1974 for the Orioles.
Yep. Now that's collectively, when you get to 1 year, like when Chris Davis hit with the 53 home runs, he had a home run every 11.03 at bats. If you get into the 9s, you're getting into Babe Ruth numbers.
3-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside. So he walked him and not happy with himself. That's going to be the 4th walk. He keeps matching strikeouts and walks. Next Sunday when the O's take on the Nationals, 1:35. First 20,000 fans 15 and over get an Orioles Hawaiian shirt. Make your summer even hotter. Add this little island flavor to your Birdland wardrobe. You can do it. That'll be next Sunday. Good seats remain, but we'll be going fast. Orioles.com or 888-848.
Next year, Madras.
I knew you'd say that.
I know.
And correct you are, sir. And a step off, no throw. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Rodon with the leadoff man on. First time the Orioles have had the leadoff man on. Reimold reached on an error, scored. Runner goes, throw down. Oh, how'd he get rid of that? He's safe. Amazing throw by Flowers, who had to reach back for it.
Well, I'm thinking, and I'm watching Carlos Rodon. Now, we saw John Danks, and he had guys diving back, real good pickoff. He's going to tutor him. I mean, that's a great snag. And, of course, by the time you do it, he went on the first move, which is what you do against left-handers. And then if they do throw over there, which he didn't, he tried to outrace the ball to second. So
Manny Machado.
Yeah, heads up play.
12 out of 14 for Manny's in scoring position. Pitch away.
And I got to, Gary, I got to think that's pretty good scouting, because they've watched Rodon, your lead scouts, the guys that do your, the pre-scouting, whatever you want to call it. They're saying, hey, doesn't really have a good move. You can go on his first move, and he did, and he can run.
Now an RBI opportunity. There he goes to third, and that's a strike and another stolen base. Flowers could not come up with that one to make a throw, so Manny running his way around here gets to within 90 of the plate.
Wow, healthy. There you go. You got to hurry. You got the hitter there. He's got to catch it and get out of the way of Nolan Reimold. Nolan's a big guy. It's a lot harder to throw somebody out with a right-handed hitter up and the guy stealing third than it is with a lefty.
Now the infield is coming in with nobody out, and a check swing foul. So base stealers now against Rodon on the year, a 10 for 11. That's their success rate. And you knew if the Orioles had a chance with those numbers, they were going to try and run, and that's exactly what Machado's done here.
And Bobby Dickerson at third base talking to Manny, and got the infield in, nobody out.
The guy who's bouncing a few pitches in the game, so
he heads up there, but I can't imagine he'll be going on contact early.
Big cut on a fastball. He got him.
Well, this guy's got an arm. There's 97. So this is what he has. This is why he got $6,582,000 $2,000 to sign. How they got exactly that number, I don't know, but I know why they gave him a lot of money. And that's because he can go to 97.
Had to do with his grandmother's birthday. I have no idea. A lot of times that's what those numbers are based on, something your mother or dad's birthday or anniversary or something.
My favorite player on the North Carolina State football team was number 82.
82. There you go.
That's how we got the 582.
Here's Adam Jones. You foul it away. And there goes the bat. A long way down the third base line into the seats. People signaling they're okay.
If you're a White Sox fan, I mean, Adams already doubled in the first one. You're not giving him the bat back.
No.
Oh, no. Another one.
Adam, the RBI, got him out of an 0 for 11 in the first inning.
He probably don't want that bat anyway. Because what, he slapped it yesterday, struck out, smacked the bat.
This is when you wish you could talk directly to Adam right now and ask him, what'd you think of that bat, Adam? Because he'd have a great answer. Might not be arable, but he'd have a great answer.
Chances of him, whatever his retort would be,
yes.
being arable?
Yes, not good.
No.
Adam coming in with a 262 runner in scoring position number. The Orioles have that here with Manny Machado on at third base and only one away. Infield stays in. Foul ball again back. He wanted that one. Bangs the barrel of the bat after he fouled it off.
Well, he's gone to a whole nother level, and by going to 97, that means you better bet going the bat going, and when you got to get the bat going, then that's that slider we've seen. Now that's what he hit for the double, but he hung it. Now he doesn't have to throw it in zone. And I'm sure the White Sox are trying to do exactly what the Orioles did yesterday, which is, behind 2-0 and cut off potential runs.
Foul.
I mean, that's, if you go back to yesterday's game, the White Sox got the 2-0 lead. They had runners at second and third with nobody out and never could get them in. And the Orioles would eventually tie it, and then the White Sox would come back with that run in the bottom of the 8th inning and win it 3-2.
The runs have been so hard to come by for both of these teams in this series. You don't want to give up any, and you want to get everyone you can. And Jones goes down swinging. May have foul tip, but it won't matter. It's a strikeout. That's 6 Ks for Rodon.
Yeah, and I mean, he's hunting strikeouts, and look at this arm. This kid's got a chance, if he stays healthy, to be a real good pitcher.
99. That's the highest I think we've seen today, isn't it?
Well, I was reading about him before last year's draft, and it was just a matter who was going to get him. He went third. And how do you get the number 3 draft? You got to be bad. So, kind of good news and bad news. He didn't play well the year before.
They move the shift on, and a foul ball. Manny Machado wasn't sure, so he started down the line thinking that may have just gone off the catcher's glove, but it was fouled away.
Well, Gary, he's gone to 99 here.
Yep. Since Machado stole third against Reimold and Jones, he's right back. So mano a mano in this at bat. Davis walked, flied out, another one inside, and certainly garner your attention at that speed.
And what they do is they leave Gillespie over at third just in case, at least until you get to 2 strikes. And of course, Davis would want to just bunt one down the third base line. Well, that will prohibit him from attempting that.
And there's a strike taken at the knees. So trying to get out of trouble here. He gave up that leadoff walk, 4th of the game to Machado. Stole second, stole third. Struck out Reimold and Jones. Now the fans applauding. They want another strikeout. That one inside, and you saw Flowers staring out because he was set up way outside on the outer part of the plate, if at all, and the pitch came exactly the other way.
I think it was a changeup. Either that or maybe he slipped because it went from 98 to 90. And
Ventura's concerned about something with his pitcher now, and will bring Herm Snyder, the trainer, out with him.
Yeah, Herb Snyder's been around for years. Actually, he started his training, or at least for a long time, he was with the Orioles AAA affiliate.
Manager trainer is satisfied. He can stay in the ball game, but Flowers went out. Doesn't want to have a mix-up and a wild pitch that would bring in that run from third. Not now with 2 down and a 2-2 count on Davis. Look at that total, 92. Orioles 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position so far today. Davis has got the 7th opportunity. Manny Machado edging off third base. Gillespie will stay over there near him. And he struck the side out. So 7 strikeouts in the ball game. 3 of them coming in this inning with a runner in scoring position. It's still 2-0 Orioles.
Scarce here in Chicago. Reinbold reaches on the air. Adam Jones gets him in. Welcome back, Scope. Jonathan Scope hits a home run coming off the knee injury, make it 2-0. And then Miguel Gonzalez through the first 4, using his pitches. Big strikeout of Jose Abreu with runners at scoring position, second and third. And that is the score from Chicago. Geico game highlights, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Bottom half of the 5th inning. Gonzalez with the pitch, and Ramirez will take it for a strike. He drew the only walk. Gonzalez has given up. That came leading off the 3rd inning and is the only leadoff batter for the White Sox to have reached today. Flowers and then Sanchez, bottom 3rd of the order. Each team 2 hits. The Orioles the 2 runs. 2 errors on the White Sox, creating 1 unearned run for the Orioles.
Yeah, that was their big chance to this point. He led off, got thrown out trying to steal. Flowers struck out. Sanchez got hit by a pitch. Eaton doubled, and then the biggest pitch of the game for Miguel Gonzalez was a strikeout of Jose Abreu, end the inning.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. That was scooped up as it bounced, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Both bullpens probably going to have an active say in this one, certainly for the White Sox, with Rodon piling up the numbers. Gonzalez has leveled it off a bit and would like to get through, obviously, as deep as he can go, but certainly into, if not through, the 7th. 2-1 pitch on the way, will be fouled away. Ramirez late on it. 2-2.
And they will watch Miguel Gonzalez very closely in these, some of the signs, the telltale signs, so to speak. Will be command, and he's been struggling with that today. I mean, the sharpness of his pitches, but to get to where, there's Dave Wallace, Oriole pitching coach. As we mentioned, the bullpen relatively rested. It's 7 guys out there now.
2-2 delivery on the way. Ramirez the other way, and that's a bloop over Pierce. Nice play.
Yeah, he can do so many things well to help you win. Coming off that incredible offensive year, but because of the Scope injury, he's played second. He played the outfield. He can pick it over at first. And in your scouting report today, might be a potential shortstop if needed.
Yep. He's been taking ground balls at short, according to Buck Showalter. Some of those early afternoon, if it's a day game, or late afternoon for night games, he comes in ahead of time and goes to short and takes ground balls just in case. Here's Tyler Flowers, strikeout victim, his first time up. Gonzalez will miss outside with it. The starts for Miguel, the last 3, not long distance. 4 1/3 against Texas, 5 against Boston, 4 1/3 against Boston before that.
Yeah, and there's always been the home run factor. Up in Boston, they got him a 6-1 lead. Diaz hit the 3-run home run and got him back in the game. So then all of a sudden, if you go from 6-1 to 6-4, Orioles would end up winning that game. I think 8-6. They went to the bench, probably the bullpen a little bit earlier than they would like. And it's a great day to pitch because of the wind. If you're aggressive, don't want to have the deep counts.
Ball put up in the air. Pierce coming over. And out of room.
And the wind is picked up. It's blowing pretty determinedly right into this. It makes it a little bit nicer into the broadcast booth. And this is not one of those stadiums where it actually hits, the stands and then kicks back. The wind is the wind.
Blows in, and that's what it's doing. So with 1 away, Flowers with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And the pitch will be outside. Trying to get him to go after one. He would not do it. Both teams in town, of course, with the Cubs playing at Wrigley and the White Sox here on the south side. Used to be they would never schedule teams in New York or Chicago home at the same time. Now that happens quite a bit. 3-1 pitch on the way, and towering pop-up center field. Wind blowing it in even more. Adam Jones is there to put it away. Flowers retired, 2 down. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
We're riding in today, and Chris Tillman said, "Where was the old park?" I said, "Right across the street." And of course, if you had a chance to either know Mike Flanagan or play with him, there's always a Flanagan story. But he's pitching, and we used to always try to pump each other up. And the White Sox signed Richie Zisk, big contract. I think he's with the Pirates. He gets a 5-year deal. And I come in and I said, "Boy, great day to pitch. Nobody's going out of here." Wind's blowing in 35 miles per hour. He almost hits one out of the ballpark. And Mike is standing on the mound, lip syncing. "Nobody's going out of here."
He remembered.
And he's giving me the look. I was trying to be positive.
Carlos Sanchez hit by a pitch his first time up. Wild cut on that one, and the count will go to 0-2. The old Comiskey right across the street.
Yeah, it's my first major league home run. Came in relief. Aparicio said, "Watch out." Skyron hits the ball back up the middle. Harry Burgain said he liked it over the plate. That's exactly where I threw it.
It's good of you.
And it went. They used to give. They had you had the bullpens dead center. And if you imagine in Camden Yards where they're right that big area, that's where the bullpens were.
Yeah.
And then there was a back wall, and they gave $10,000 if you threw one in there. And I missed by about a foot.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that one will be bounced. Count goes to 2-2.
And then for years, Moose would actually pass away. I think about a couple of years ago. He actually worked for the White Sox, so I'd always run into him. And I really liked him until he hit that home run because he had played for the Yankees, and I was a Yankee fan growing up. And I would go, "Boy, I used to like you when you've had the pinstripes on. Not anymore, Moose." And he was a terrific guy.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that will be taken inside. So Carlos Sanchez works the count to 3-2. Number 9 hitter trying to turn it over for Eaton at the top. 2-2 and 0 for the Orioles. 0-2 for the White Sox here in this final game of the series.
Yeah, pitching him very carefully, and he came in 0 for 7. Eaton came in 0 for 9.
Little trouble at the bottom of the order with the number of pitches thrown at least. Ground ball to first. That'll be played by Pierce, and another solid inning. So he retires on 1, 2, 3, 5 done here at U.S. Cellular, and the Orioles lead it 2-0. Sunday in Chicago, and the Orioles with the 2-0 lead, and getting it early and hanging on with the unearned run in the first and the home run by Scope, and Gonzalez a big part of that.
Rodon went to another level in that inning. Yep. And then at third, nobody out, punched out the side. Yeah, the Houston Astros was picked third. They actually took Brady Aiken, the left-hander, last year, and then he didn't sign him. He didn't like his elbow, and he eventually would have to have Tommy John surgery, and I guess they offered him over $5 million anyway, and he ended up signing with Cleveland. So Rodon could have been an Astro.
Rodon's pitch will be in the outside corner to Steve Pearce. Pearce has walked and flied out. Again, the pitchers dominating in these ball games. And Pearce will swing through it. The Orioles have held the White Sox to 4 or fewer runs in the last 17 times they've played. 4 or fewer for 17 consecutive games. Down to third. It'll be a base hit. Gillespie gave it a good dive but could not get to it. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on a base hit here in the 6th inning. Steve Pearce. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Well, let's see what the O's can do with it here in the 6th. Paredes and Hardy, then Scope. You see Daniel Webb in the bullpen with that pitch count closing in on 100 for Rodon. Paredes fielder's choice, and he's flied out. He's gone 0 for 6 in this series and 0 for his last 12 times to the plate. Both these teams' starters have been exceptional of late. Chicago starters had a 1.53 ERA in the last 10 coming into this ball game, and the Orioles starters doing the same thing, even though the Orioles were losing. The Orioles a 1.80 ERA over the last 4. Nobody out. Lob toss over by to get Pearce rather back to the bag by Rodon.
Yeah, you talked about it. 11 out of 12. He's just maybe just in case they're going, maybe you pick him off.
Pearce not extending the lead at first base, held by Abreu. And the pitch will be taken outside. Orioles with the 2 stolen bases Manny Machado's had in the game are up to 26 steals on the season. The running game has not been a big part of the Orioles offense this season. Neither has it been for Chicago. And again, the toss over.
Yeah, I read a note in their last 20 home games. We talked about the Orioles holding them. They're under 4 runs a game.
Yeah.
And again, yet they're 20 and 15 at home because they pitch so well. ERA a little bit over, maybe, or right around 3.25 runs a game, which is low.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Wild, a big cut right there, and Paredes can't catch up to it. He goes to 2-2.
Yeah, nice slider again, and nice to have 2 quality pitches, and there's one of them. And the good slider, Rodon is 6'3", so he's throwing downhill when he gets on top of stuff. So the tilt looks like it's going to be in the middle of the plate, and it heads right to your back leg.
Brady's all 10 home runs the other side of the plate. He's got a base hit on this one, though. And the Orioles get something going here in the 6th inning. Back-to-back singles by Pearce and Paredes, and nobody out. The next fireworks night, Oriole Park, is set for Friday, July 31st. Orioles take on the Tigers, 7:05 that night. Birdland skies will light up. Great display presented by Kaiser Permanente. Good seats still remain, but won't last long. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. That's fireworks on the 31st. And that will be it for the 22-year-old. Rodon has given his club a chance to win, but he's coming out.
Yeah, run support such a big part, and I was kind of looking down. You can look right at the dugout, and Don Cooper going, okay, he's going to leave, and he just threw a changeup. Paredes spanked it into left field. So Well, what an arm this kid has for only 22 years of age.
He goes 5+ innings, gives up 4 hits, 4 walks, and has 7 strikeouts. Days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. Orioles try to add to a 2-0 lead here on the south side.
So Rodon will leave. Carlos at age 22 pitches well. A lot of fastballs. Boy, you really saw it when he struck out the side. Man on third, nobody out. Breaking ball, the slider, maybe not as many. A few more changeups that got him out of the game as Paredes bounced it in. And now your AT&T call to the bullpen. AT&T, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. AT&T mobilizing your world. So Daniel Webb comes on. Hard thrower, 95, a lot of fastballs, slider, and then the occasional changeup. So as we saw the other night, or if you see pretty much every night, with the exception of Zach Putnam, they're all coming out throwing 93 to 95.
Power arms for the White Sox. The Orioles have runners on at first and second base. J.J. Hardy's coming up. Nobody out. Hardy has grounded out and struck out, and the Orioles with a chance to have a big inning here in the top half of the 6th.
Yeah, they're not really expecting him to bunt other than Gillespie, and he doesn't.
Gillespie moved in a couple of steps at third.
But Abreu back and behind the runner.
White Sox bullpen, they are ranked 10th. 3.89 ERA. They've given up the most hits per 9 innings of any bullpen in the American League. 0-1 count. And Hardy will put it up in the air. Popped it up. Second base. Infield fly rule in effect. And it's caught by Sanchez for the first out.
Yeah, you're hoping that Daniel Webb does what Bud Norris did initially yesterday, and that was kind of hold the fort. And Norris came in when the Orioles were down 2-0. Machado would tie it.
So the Orioles are now 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And here's Jonathan Schoop. Schoop, the home run, first at bat, returning today to the Orioles roster to rehabbing that knee. Grounded out his second time up. One away, infield double play depth, and the cut on a nasty pitch inside that tied him up.
Yeah, how about the movement? I mean, 95, we always kind of talk about Zach Britton, the Oriole closer. 95, 97, left-handed. Jim Johnson when he was here. I think it's very hard to throw that hard and get the ball to move that much, but Webb can do it. And there's a four-seam fastball, gets the outside corner.
Game 95 on that one, and it's 0-2.
In and out.
Well, Jonathan Schoop. First home run here at Cellular Field that he picked up in that second inning. Towering pop up again. Who's got it? Nobody wanted it. There is an infield fly rule that will be handled by Abreu. Everybody in the infield just kind of stood there and nobody moved to the ball.
And then finally the big guy caught it. Sanchez was right next to him, and it was almost like he was about, his head's just a little bit above Jose Abreu's shoulder.
So 2 down. Webb with a chance to get out of the inning. Orioles with the first 2 on. They're still there. Caleb Joseph has drawn a walk and he has flied out. Webb with that look back to second base. Pitch will miss outside for a ball.
He's been up and down. An injury, so he was down at their AAA affiliate down in Charlotte.
1-0. Gonna miss outside. So Caleb Joseph will get the count in his favor. He goes to 2 balls and no strikes. We mentioned Caleb all season long has done an extraordinary job in these situations for the Orioles, hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. And we'll take that one for a strike.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for that pitch. Drops off a fabulous changeup. It was one of those ones you could hand it to your catcher and it wouldn't have been in a better location.
They don't have a shift on, but they do have Sanchez holding at second base, so he's got a big hole between first and second to go after here. Pitch on the way. Joseph on a swing and a miss. Evens the count up 2-2. So Webb appearing in just his second game ever against the Orioles, trying to retire 3 in a row with 2 on. First appearance here in this series. He appeared for an inning, gave up nothing in a game in Baltimore. 2-2 delivery. Caleb Joseph takes it. It'll miss and the count goes full. (3-2) with 2 down. Abreu will move behind. Paredes the runner at first base.
Yeah, and that's kind of a shift. That's why Sanchez is there, because you wouldn't be that concerned. 2 outs, you're going on contact anyway. Or they must just think that he's going to hit it there. Sanchez, there's a huge hole in the right field.
And a foul back on a cut on a ball he wanted to drive. So Caleb with a 3-ball 2-strike count one more time. Manny Machado's on deck if he can keep the inning going. More importantly, a base hit here, and Orioles can add to their 2-0 lead. Again, the 3-2 runners go, and that'll be fouled off. Good battle here between Joseph and Webb.
It's just amazing that you can get guys with these kinds of arms. 18th round. Went to Northwest Florida State College, and then you trade for him. Jason Frazier, who's been traded around, was back in the offseason of 2012, and then you figure out, okay, we'll refine his pitches, and he's got a good arm.
3-2 again.
I mean, it's sinking, riding, and then we've seen a pretty good changeup. Haven't even seen a breaking ball.
So it'll be at least a 9-pitch at bat.
Don Cooper.
13 pitches thrown by Webb. He's gotten 2 outs, looking for the other. Pierce and Paredes are on the fly, and another one right straight back. So Caleb trying to wear him out.
Well, he's looking for something in the middle of the plate, and he's not getting it.
This will be the 3rd pitch on the 3-2 count. Runners again off. Ball right field, hit hard to a shallow. It's going to drop in all the way to the warning track in the wall. It'll score. Pierce, Paredes, Joseph a double, 2 RBIs, and he does it again. and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead. And what a battle, and a great at bat by Caleb Joseph.
Talk about getting something in the middle of the plate, and he finally does. You know, the wind's blowing so much it's hard to tell, and right there, will the ball carry? Well, it does. And Garcia plays the right-handers very shallow. And you can see him trying to catch up with it. Heaton will eventually get to it after it bounces off the wall. And meanwhile, Paredes, after singling off a Rodon, will come all the way from first base. So a huge, huge hit.
Caleb Joseph getting it done for the Orioles with 2 away. Ground ball towards short. Ramirez charging. Quick throw, and just in time to get Manny Machado. So the Orioles are retired, but Caleb Joseph comes through and gives the Orioles a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, really only the 3rd inning. The leadoff walk to Ramirez, and watch this throw. Right on the money. Caleb Joseph who got the big double. Perfect throw. They get Ramirez out. He was, 9 out of 11. Again, the perfect throw, and then, of course, they would get a double. They would get a hit by a pitch, and then the big strikeout of Abreu. And that's how and then Caleb gets the double. That's how we get the 4-0 here in the 6th.
So the Orioles on top. Miguel Gonzalez, a little more to work with here. That 4th run, vitally important for the Orioles and generally all around baseball. 2 or less, 2 and 26.
Yeah, those numbers, even though runs are down, even though I think they're up a little more than last year, still a trend. Yeah, the 3 runs, very different. 2 runs, I mean, that's an amazing number.
Yeah.
We just don't win 1-0, 2-0 anymore.
So Gonzalez will work to protect it here in the bottom of the 6th inning, top of the order. And the pitch taken up high. We're trying to figure out why some of the Oriole numbers are not so bad on the road, but their record is 16 and 23 on the road. And before the ball game today, we were just trying to find a reason. And one of them are those close games. The Orioles are 2 and 11 in 1-run games on the road.
And don't you think that has something to do? I mean, they very good defensive ball club, maybe arguably the best in baseball, at least in the American League. But the other thing is they just don't score a lot of runs. You have so much of a cushion at home. You're giving up 3.8 in a very tough ballpark, but you're scoring over 5. Here you're giving up 3.6, but you're scoring maybe a 0.2 of a run more.
Yeah.
So a lot more closer games.
Much closer games on the road, and they're not winning them. That's been the case so far this year for the Orioles. That's the worst win percentage in 1-run games on the road in the American League. 2 and 11. And a ground ball to first base. Pierce right there, says I got. 1 down, 6th inning. Follow the Orioles wherever you are. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat up to the moment, any moment. In-game highlights, live look-ins, replays, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Attendance here on a Sunday, 22,519. 2-2. 5-1-9 with the Cubs playing on the north side at the same time. They're moving their ball game along in the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. Abreu's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. 6-game hit streak. And the breaking ball in there for his strike. He is 3 for 10 in the series. He's not hit a lot against the Orioles, but the hits have been big hits this year.
Even last year, a couple of home runs, right center, left center. He's still looking for the hitting for the cycle.
Yeah, he's 4 for 22 this year against the Orioles, and Gonzalez, that off-speed stuff had him way out in front.
Well, one of the themes of the Orioles starting staff, who really from June on last year was just incredible, tied for the most wins in the American League, was the extra outs, and this is where you grind it out. You know, already got 16 outs, got a 4-0 lead. Don't lose your focus. Same things you talk about, getting the first batter out, not walking people, using all your pitches, which Miguel does so well. They really come into force here. Slow your body down, speed up the arm as you get a little bit. I don't think the word tired is right. Just maybe maybe a little bit fatigued.
0-2 delivery on the way. It's down low. This is where he's had his best luck. We talked about it earlier. Third time through the lineup. Opponents are hitting only .239 against him compared to his overall number, which is up there at let me correct that, .213 the third time around.
That's a low number.
2-1-3.
That's the pitchability of his stuff.
Yeah,
the 4 pitches.
Ground ball towards third, tough play off the glove and into left field. That was a short hop, hope right there, and Abreu's on. That'll be a base hit with 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, this is like playing on, I would say AstroTurf, but AstroTurf might be quick, might be slower, especially with some of the new turf fields. And certainly truer bounce. Not that it's, I mean, it's well-conditioned field. The ball just comes up. You think that it's hard to pick the speed of it, even if you're one of the best.
So with 1 away, Melky Cabrera stands in. He is lined out and flied out. And that pitch will be taken down low. That is hit number 3, just number 3 for the White Sox. They had the double by Eaton that came in the 3rd. Garcia's single in the 4th, and now the single here in the 6th inning.
And they don't play behind Abreu, who's not going to run.
Pitch on the way. That ball's down the line, and it will be foul.
And I used to always say, well, why don't you do that? But nowadays, especially if you're Miguel Gonzalez, you pitch in, you got the splitter, you have the curveball, you have the slider. The reason they don't is because you want to take away the double. I mean, that's what you want to do. And they're trying to get back into the game, and it's almost like it's kind of the new prevent defense. Keep the first baseman on the bag. If he does hit one down the line, he'll be there.
And he hits one into right center field. It's way back, and it's going to go off the wall. Coming around to score. Going to go for a triple. Throw to third. It's there, and he's out at third base, and that's a big out. And a big base running mistake as they get 1, but they also give up an out. And it's a 4-1 ball game, and a nice relay from Davis.
Well, again, we saw this the other night in Baltimore, and I mean, right here it starts with getting to the ball, hitting the cutoff man, and then, pardon the expression, the stupidity of trying to do this when you're 3 runs down. It's just a horrible base running. But again, if the Orioles don't execute, you don't make that play. Well, you just, I don't know what Melky was thinking about. There's just no reason to do it. So you're going to see Dave Wallace come out right away, the Oriole pitching coach, and as that ball was going up the gap, and again, it's been one of those afternoons where Miguel is pitched well, but he hasn't been as sharp as we've seen him. So you're playing to the scoreboard if you're the Orioles, and Dave's going to come out, and it's where you got to grind it out. Those extra outs they talked about in spring training,
getting up to 18 to 20 outs for starters.
Use all your pitches, and hey, I mean, just knowing your body. okay, maybe I'm a little tired. I mean, I'm not as big as some of the other guys. Just stay over the rubber and speed up the arm, and that allows you to get the ball down into the zone. And you can see that third inning, and that was a strikeout of Abreu, which is the biggest inning to this point.
So the White Sox have helped the Orioles in this game. The double error in the first inning by Gillespie, an unearned run. Now Cabrera with a bad base running play. Instead of having a runner at third and 1 out, you got nobody on and 2 down. And here's LaRoche, and it'll be taken for a ball. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game, a 9-4-5 on the putout at third base. And they're not little things, the things that matter, how to complete a relay from the outfield and get an out.
Well, Cabrera's been up almost 4,700 times. I mean, he's been around the block many times. You just don't do that. And when you do, as I said, I mean, the Orioles had to play perfect defense, but that's what they started practicing on, probably the 20th of February.
And that's his call. Cabrera's plays right in front of him. 2-0 delivery on the way to LaRoche, and he'll put the ball up in the air towards center. Adam Jones. And that's it. So a run in on a couple of hits, no errors, at least not physically on the field, and nobody left on. Orioles up by 3. Way in Chen on the mound against Philip Hughes. Coverage on Masson 2, 7:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Game coverage at 8. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Well, there are the Twins, and again, they love to play at home. They're 26-16. They don't score a lot of runs. That's collectively, but at home they're a lot better. And then, of course, Hughes won 16 games last year. And then Kyle Gibson, the sinker balling right-hander, and then Tommy Milone. The Orioles know him from Oakland. He's pitched well.
Twins are playing in a 2-2 ball game, 9th inning against Kansas City right now. Erwin Santana came back. Their starter gave up 2 runs, 3 hits over 8 innings. So a real good return, but they are tied.
Yeah, they signed Irvin to a $55 million 4-year deal, and then the suspension.
David Lowe's going to be the pinch hitter for the Orioles for Reimold. The right-hander, Webb. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Reimold will be gone on paternity leave following the ball game tonight. Ryan Flaherty is expected to be immediately reinstated to the roster. Ball's going to be a base hit. So Lowe comes through. He gets a leadoff single. Pinch hitting here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Webb comes in and looks pretty good, throwing hard. Finally hangs one up at the plate. First one didn't hang it up, 96, and Caleb hit it up the gap, and there's a changeup that he just serves in the left field, so you have speed at first.
2 for 4 as a pinch hitter for the Orioles. Lowe. Adam Jones. Orioles now have picked up 6 hits in the ball game. White Sox pitchers have given up 8 or fewer hits in the last 5 ball games. The Orioles trying to disrupt that number. Jones a single and an RBI in the first inning, and then has struck out twice since. And back to the bag goes Lowe. Lowe's got one stolen base on the year, caught 4 times.
He really doesn't play enough to really study the art of stealing. Certainly has the speed to do it.
Jones waiting. Webb's delivery to him will miss down low. Orioles trying to stay away from that sweep here by the White Sox. They've not been swept with the White Sox since 05. That was a 4-game series in Baltimore. And Jones will be turned on that one inside, but they say it didn't hit him.
Yeah, that is the way you get out of pitches. I mean, that was a changeup. But we have seen so many people. In fact, George Springer, young outfield. There's Dan Jennings. Watch him roll. Watch the roll of the shoulder. Yes. So you take the hands and the wrist. And Springer the other day hit by an inside pitch and wrist fractured.
2-0 delivery on the way outside. So Webb all over the place here in the at bat. The count goes to 3-0 against Jones with Chris Davis waiting on deck.
Yeah, so Jennings is for Davis in case, probably either way.
Both bullpens active now. Jones waiting on it. 3-0 takes it. Not even close. So Webb surrenders the walk, and the Orioles, as they did in the 6th inning when they scored 2, get the first 2 base runners on here in the 7th. And we'll try and take advantage of that. Bullpen may not be quite ready yet, so.
Well, it's either that or they look behind Chris Davis and then they see Pierce, Paredes, a switch hitter, Hardy, Scope, and Joseph, all right-handed hitters. So maybe, even though they do have Zach Duke out there, but they do have some other right-handers.
But Chris, of course, is hitting 300 off left.
Yes.
So if you go by the numbers, leave a right-hander in. Home plate umpire out to break it up.
Yeah, I think Don Cooper may have seen something. It was almost like the war of attrition, the double that Caleb Joseph hit. I mean, he fouled off all those pitches, and finally, Webb made some real good ones. But this inning a little bit different.
Nobody out and 2 on, and Chris Davis has struck out, flied out, and drawn a walk. Orioles 2 for 10, runners in scoring position. Today's been their day to have the chances. Set up away, ground ball away, and that's going to be a base hit. Here comes Lowe with his great speed. He'll score easily over to third base Jones. Chris Davis through with an RBI base hit, and it is a 5-1 Orioles lead.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what you throw. If it ends up in the middle of the plate, especially down to Chris Davis, that's his power zone. And again, it could be a ground ball. You could see it's down and away. I mean, he's got big arms, long arms, nice probably 35-inch bat, maybe 34 inches, and fast infield. And there's another run.
So the Oriole leader picks up his 50th, one of those marks on a season. 50 RBIs for Chris Davis, and the Orioles still have runners at first and third. Pierce up. He's had a base hit, walked, and flied out. The infield's going to play in with nobody out. Rather than stay back, they're not willing to give up this run if they can get it at the plate. And home plate umpire says he went around and a called strike.
Take a look. We'll see what Marcus Batillo said. And yeah, bat did travel a long way. He got it right.
Oh, 1 delivery to him. That one way inside, further from Webb. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, he's probably going to try to get the 2-seamer to work and hope to get a ground ball at one of his infielders. And we know what Steve Pierce wants to do.
Loft and one.
Yeah, loft it somewhere.
Goes to short and through, and a base hit and an RBI. Played back in by Cabrera with a drawn in infield. Ramirez tried to stop it. and came close, but not quite. Pierce has got a run batted in as Jones scores, and the Orioles have a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, you want to get your ERA up, play for a team that doesn't score a lot of runs, and instead of it being a double play ball because of the scoreboard, it's a base hit because everybody's in. Nice hitting. Steve Pierce hits it sharp, fast infield. Ramirez can't get to it. Routine double play ball if he's back. Base hit when he's not.
So that will take Webb out of the ball game. The Orioles still nobody out and 2 on. Around 1929, the New York Giants, the first team to use a public address system at a game. And in 2002, the passing of baseball legend Ted Williams at the age of 83, cardiac arrest, 19 years, all with the Red Sox for the first round Hall of Famer.
Dan Jennings recently recalled after going on a rehab. Some neck soreness, a fastball slider guy. Last year with the Marlins, this year with the White Sox. Hard thrower. Who is it? 95. And slider about 86 miles per hour. And there's the heater, 93. So there are his numbers. Since he's been back, he's been hit around a little bit. So the ERA has gone up from the a little bit under 3 runs a game. Not a lot of innings. You can go up in a hurry.
Paredes with runners at first and second. Nobody out. Orioles have 2 runs in here in the 7th inning. And he rips it. There's one, and that's all there's going to be. That ball was hit so hard the runners didn't have time to get off the base.
Yeah, you maybe a half lean to whatever base you're going. And I mean, this is what Jimmy Paredes. He gets robbed here. I mean, this was a bullet. Gillespie couldn't catch the high hopper to start the game, and good base running by Chris Davis diving back. But you can't hit a ball any harder than that. Keep it in the park.
So there's the first out, and now J.J. Hardy coming up. Hardy is popped out, struck out, grounded out. 1 hit in the series, 1 for 10 for JJ. And again, first and second still occupied, now at double play depth. Hardy, a couple of hits in 16 at bats against the White Sox this year, and a heater at 93 up and away. So the Orioles finding their offense here in Chicago on this Sunday. Losers of 5 of 6. They've been outscored 24-13 in those half-dozen games. That pitch is going to be a strike at the knees. It'll even the count up to Hardy 1-1. Orioles offense, of course, overall in the year is still well up there as we begin the second half of the schedule based on the number of games played. Timeout asked for at the plate. Flowers wanted it. He's going to go out to the mound. Orioles came in 5th in average, but 4th in runs, 4th in home runs. They've been there in that 4 spot in homers for over a month now. Still don't walk, which keeps the on base percentage at 9th in the league.
Yeah, and they like to play the White Sox because they're only one stolen base ahead of them. And they've been caught up now, what, 22 times. With 25 steals, the White Sox. Orioles have a better percentage. 24, being caught 13.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Jennings' delivery will miss. And the count will go to 2-1. So Hardy with a chance to rip the doors off this thing here. If he can get another base hit, extend that lead. With the Orioles up by 5. Had not scored in the 3rd through 6th. And the Orioles coming alive in the 6th with those 2 runs. Knocked down in the dirt. 1, no, bobbled off his glove. Everybody holds, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, by now we've seen Gillespie to start the game, knocked it down, threw it away. Right here, it's a double play ball. If you catch it, if you don't catch it, try to get a handle on it. Can't do that. And then when he does, well, you can stepping downhill. He bounces it. Luckily, it didn't go into center. Well, the Orioles would have gotten their 7th run.
Error charged on the pitcher's throw. Jennings, fielder's choice for Hardy, and an error allows the runner to reach at second base, and now the Orioles have him loaded. Chris Davis moved over to 3rd on that Pierce. Safe at second base, and Hardy on at 1st. Sacks full. Jonathan Scope, home run, 2nd inning. 1 for 3 in the ball game, and he will take the pitch down low. So what a return for Scope. He was part of the big relay play that got Cabrera on the out at 3rd base after he had doubled in a run. Got a home run first time up, returning to the roster today from the DL. Now he's got the bases loaded. 1-0 delivery to him. Scope towards the middle. Should be 2. He bobbled it. Throw to first. Not in time. Everybody's safe. Looked like a tailor-made double play. Sanchez struggling at second base.
Yeah, the whole defense struggling. As you mentioned, not a great defensive club. Looks like it's pretty routine, but he didn't catch it. And he's going to catch it, maybe anticipating the catch. Good pitch there by Jennings. Sanchez just going to, all he's got to do is touch the base, and does have the double play. Well, the Orioles do get the 7th run, and the base is still loaded.
And the Orioles will send their 8th batter to the plate with 1 away. Caleb Joseph with the sacks full. Caleb a ground ball to short. Ramirez a short hop will go to first and get the out. Bronx cheer in Chicago for making the play. Joseph gets the RBI. He's got 3 in the ball game, and the Orioles increase their lead to 8-1.
Yeah, even on that play, it didn't look like Alexi got a good jump on it. I don't know if he saw it. We talked about how you get these day games, glary, people coming with white shirts, but it is an RBI, and it is 8-1.
So the Orioles adding to it here, batted around. Leadoff man Manny Machado now runners at 2nd and 3rd. Jennings, fastball is going to be in there for a strike. The 4 runs here in this inning are all charged to Webb. See how many end up being earned.
Yeah, Scott Carroll, I think we're balling right-hander, and the Orioles have action in their bullpen.
Nasty inning for the White Sox, but they've seen them all year. These are the kind of innings that have just killed this ball club.
Ezra, who's got loose last inning, looks like he's going to probably come into the game. And it doesn't get a whole lot easier for Dave Jennings with Manny Machado at the plate.
Miguel Gonzalez loving every minute of this inning. Starting pitcher with a chance to win his 7th. 0-2 count, 2 down. Base hit, scores 2. Wild cut and a miss. So Manny Machado is out of there, struck out. The Orioles bat around. They add 4 and now have an 8-1 lead.
Gonzalez trying to get it straightened out today, and boy does he able to do it. High fastball. Flowers goes down. Runners at second and third. Best hitter Abreu up, strikes him out. And meanwhile, the Orioles are getting him a bunch of runs. So again, only the one earned run, only the one walk, and you can see pretty good strike to ball ratio. So Chaz Rowe will come on. A lot of fastball slider pitcher. And he's last pitched on Thursday night. So he comes in, done a nice job for the Orioles.
Rowe needs to throw strikes now as the Orioles have built that lead up to 8-1, 8 runs on 8 hits. In that 7th inning, there were 4 runs, 2 were earned. Orioles only had 3 hits in the inning, but 2 White Sox errors kept it going. So Rodon, the starter, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 hits, 5 plus. Webb worked an inning plus. He gave up 4 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits, and then Jennings. Lowe will stay in the ball game for Reimold to play in left field. Lowe's the one who got it started as he led the inning off pinch hitting and got a single and would be one of the 4 runs to score for the Orioles.
Yeah, they don't hit Chaz Rowe. You make a great point, and he's only walked 8 in 22 innings. As we mentioned, he's done a terrific job for him. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. The irony is that his last appearance was where he did lead off the leadoff hitter against the Rangers, and what would turn out to be a 1-run loss, and actually a 2-run loss, as they would get some runs. But he throws a lot of strikes, a lot of movement, great slider.
So Rowe begins here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the first pitch is going to be chopped foul. Garcia, a base hit, 1 for 2. Gillespie and then Ramirez due up for the White Sox. Orioles putting themselves in a pretty good position to end that 3-game losing streak and not get swept by the White Sox. Win here would even up the season series at 3 apiece. Swing and a miss, kept that one up high, and he went after it, and an 0-2 count. Count. Avisail Garcia. Right now it's not the power but the base runners that the White Sox need. Set up outside the strike zone. Rowe comes back in, and it looked like it was there.
Yeah, it certainly did. Maybe they said just went around the plate.
Kumbaya. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Roll over the top, another one upstairs. 94 on that one.
And Chaz is hoping that that pitch that was borderline strike turns out to be a stay of execution in a sense. You get him later on, but
pretty good feeling that he should be back on the bench,
but he's not.
Here's the delivery to him, and that time he fooled him. Had the timing off on an 84-mile-an-hour delivery.
Yeah, normally you want your slider down and away, but this one starts in and then the spin. Even when, at least it appears, other than maybe the home run to Ortiz, one of the 2 home runs he's thrown when the Red Sox are in Baltimore, that breaking ball still fools hitter, even though it's a little bit up and a little bit in the middle of the plate.
So Chaz Rowe gets the out against the first batter he faces. 28-year-old working to the left-hander, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. Connor Gillespie, he has struck out and grounded out. White Sox have only 4 hits in the ball game, with a 1-run coming in the 6th inning. Great job done by Gonzalez with the 1-run, 4 hits over 6. Rowe's pitch will skip in the dirt to the backstop.
Yeah, still one of the biggest plays is the Gillespie error, because it led to a run early on. But the base running by Melky Cabrera, if he doesn't do that, good chance Chaz Rowe would have had to come in the middle of an inning instead of starting the inning with a 7-run lead.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Into the shift. Jonathan Scope. So a 4-3 from right field, and they're 2 down.
Yeah, Jonathan Scope's arm strength is pretty much unparalleled in the American League. I don't get to see everybody over in the National League. I mean, you see him from time to time. But too many guys can turn to double play with that kind of arm strength. And he's a big guy, he's a big youngster. I thought when he said, "I'm probably," when he did the interview today, in the best shape of my life.
I think he really believes that. And you'll have to continue to work to keep the muscle up around the knee. Swing and a miss on a slider away, Ramirez.
Yeah, it's kind of it always intrigues me how when guys get Tommy John surgery, they always said, "Yeah, while I was doing that, I actually had to go through a whole fitness program." When guys come back, they throw harder, and it's probably a combination of stuff. Arm doesn't hurt, ligaments been replaced, and you've gotten yourself in shape.
Amazing.
Richie Bancel is the Orioles trainer for now, what? Head trainer for 28 years, over 32 years. And so Matt Wieters.
That one will go to right field and will fall in front of Chris Davis, and a base hit for Ramirez.
Now, he was saying, Matt coming through the Tommy John was a model patient, working hard and working on the legs, not only working on the shoulder and all the other things you do, especially the forearm, and trying to get as strong as you can, so when you do come back, you'll play it at as good a level or maybe even better.
Trouble is, the numbers on that are not good, and high school players have begun to believe that you need to have Tommy John to get better, and that is absolutely not true.
Even if there's any slight, instead of trying to rehab it. All I look at is Josh Beckett. Now, he was the most valuable player in the World Series when the Marlins won, I think, 2003. He pitched for another 12 years. Nolan Ryan had a little bit of a ligament tear. But I think they threw out that number, the 92% of the guys that have it come back. But it really is not that. And if they do come back, it's not, they don't come back. A lot of guys don't come back throwing the same. And if they come back, they don't have to stay. And now the number, and the real alarming number, guys have to go through a second one, and then the numbers even go lower.
And you only hear about guys who are succeeding. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Tyler Flowers up. Flowers off the end of the bat, cues it foul. Well, the Orioles going to Minnesota. Kansas City beat the Twins today 3-2. Final score in KC. So the Royals over the Twins, the Orioles and Minnesota both heading to Minneapolis, and will play tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look at the numbers of the teams in that American League Central. Now, the White Sox are 10 under. The Twins are 20-20 in their division. Tigers 26-14. 12 games over. And then the Indians at 14-22. And of course, Kansas City leading everybody. Glowing numbers.
46 win for KC. Second consecutive walk-off win they've had. Rowe gets the pitch where he wants it and gets a strikeout. Flowers is retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And the Orioles maintain an 8-1 lead. Miguel Cabrera's out. Alex Avila's playing first. He said before the game at first base, I'll probably be adequate. That was a great catch. Then you got Pablo Sandoval, the best defense he's played all year. Yesterday, turned 2 with a shift to nab Carlos Correa at second base and Valbuena at first. It's the best game he's had. And for David DeJesus, it's the 4th of July. Give me the strawberry shortcake selection. Those are your 4th of July celebrations.
Obviously, it probably helps him play better in case he ever does play, but obviously he wasn't playing.
In the dugout, no less.
And they've lost 7 in a row. I don't know. I don't know about that. Scott Carroll, let's see, a starter in bullpen close. That's up and down. Last year was pretty much a starter for him, sinker baller. He comes in and the numbers, well, you know, he's a ground ball pitcher. He pitches to contact. He's not your prototypical guy. He's coming in this game. You would think he'd play the role of long man because when he was down at AAA Charlotte, they let him start and pitch very well.
Shuck's going to come in. JB Shuck will play in left field. Melky Cabrera's out. Bonifacio's in at second. Sanchez out of the ball game for the White Sox. Top of the 8th inning. Lowe started that 7th inning when the Orioles hit around. He picked up a base hit, pinch hitting, and stayed in the ball game. Takes the pitch away for a ball. For Jennings, he worked an inning, had 1 strikeout. The runs charged to Rodon and Webb 4 each. Rodon had 3 earned, Webb 2. 1-0 delivery towards short. Ramirez.
Yeah, there's the grounder. Yeah, Scott Carroll's 30, and you start looking at coming through the minor leagues, and he started all the way back in 2007, 3rd round player. Let's see, right hand tendonitis, right hip inflammation, left oblique strain, right ankle sprain, Tommy John in 2013, right elbow strain last year, and then you realize he was a college quarterback. Started at Purdue, played for Missouri State. That'll wear out your body.
Mm-hmm. Gone through a bit. Here's Adam Jones. Adam, a double RBI first inning. Walked his last time up and scored in between 2 strikeouts. And he will foul that one off. So Adam trying to get the bat going again with the base hit here. 1 for 3 today. He's 5 for his last 33.
Yeah, he's around a lot of pitches, and when he's best, we see him hit it to right. He did it off of Wandy Rodriguez 3rd time up. Shot a curveball. But again, when you get around to things, a little more susceptible to balls in and balls down and away. And there's a changeup right there that he swings through.
Pulled the string on him. 30-year-old Carroll. Nice pitch. Well, the Orioles in good shape here in this one. Target on the bullpen. That's how they want to finish up this ball game with Rowe in there right now, having worked an inning. Nobody warming up out there. 0-2 count. Jones, 9-iron down the line. That's going to be a fair ball. It'll take a hop right off the top of the wall. Throw in by Shuck off the mark. Jones is in. He's got a double. Second hit, both doubles.
Yeah, he's motoring, and he almost slid right by the bag. Wrapped it with his right hand. J.B. Shuck, game-winning hit yesterday, double over the bag off of Darren O'Day. He gets to this ball quickly. Bare hands it, and then the throw just a little offline. Oh, he was on his way to the Twin Cities.
Left field.
Yeah. Minnesota that way?
So a couple of doubles for Jones, and the Orioles have 9 hits in the ball game. And we'll bring Chris Davis to the plate. Chris, a base hit, RBI in the 7th inning. Orioles, Jones has had an RBI, Davis 1, Pierce 1. Home run by Jonathan Scope. 3 RBIs by Caleb Joseph.
And this was a 2-0 game going into the 6th.
Late inning scoring by the Orioles. Let's open this one. Shift on. Davis goes after it. The other way foul.
Now I saw a score earlier. The Yankees were down 5-1 to Tampa. So I don't know if they hold that. Would have broken their losing streak. And
Red Sox were winning. They've fallen behind their ball game today. That one gets away. It'll be chased down by Flowers. This game has become a game of defensive indifference at this point. Not a lot of big time movements going on out there. That'll be a wild pitch charge to Carroll, and we'll put a runner on at third base. Rays lead the Yankees 8-1 in their game. That's a final now. So the Rays avoid an extended losing streak, ended at 7. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Chris Davis, RBI opportunity. And he'll get it. In left field, back at the wall, maybe far enough, and up, and caught again. Chris Davis can't wait to get out of Chicago. It'll be an RBI on a sac fly, but for the second day in a row, his bid for a home run is denied. Garcia in right yesterday, J.B. Shuck in left today.
Yeah, and he's looking over at the dugout talking about Garcia after he robbed Chris. Now yesterday the wind blowing out. This is against the wind. And look at J.B. Shuck up over the yellow line, which is the demarcation between a home run and a ball that stays in. And
it's one of those, what have I got to do?
but it does make it 9-1, and you do get an RBI, and Chris could have had 2 home runs.
So Chris, 2 RBI day, 51. That's going to be to the gap and a base hit. Pierce is on, so he's got a 3-hit ball game. He's had 3 singles and an RBI and a walk. After that catch made by Shuck, Davis looked out to right. He's going to rob you of time on replays. Wow, those are 2 hard hit balls by Chris Davis yesterday and today. Hang with them, as they say in this game. Orioles now with a 10-hit game.
You almost think that the White Sox have hired some of the Bulls to play the outfield the way they've been jumping.
Those have been great catches well off the turf.
Now, Abisail Garcia is 6'4". J.B. Shuck is not that kind of stature. That play even more amazing when you consider his leaping ability.
Brady's had a base hit and a run scored, 1 for 4 in the ball game. On the left side, he will foul that one off. And 2 strike count with 2 down. Orioles 9 runs on 10 hits. White Sox have a run on 5. Orioles blowing it open, starting in the 6th, 2 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th. They've added another one here in the 8th. Infield way back on Paredes. And he goes after one outside of the strike zone, nubs it off.
Yeah, nice. Trying to stay alive on a good changeup. Yeah, this is one of those games where they don't play well. And when you get ahead, you're hitting well, and then they play the infield in. You take advantage of that. It's never easy to get 9 runs on the board, but it's easier to add some runs when you're playing prevent defense in the 6th inning, which is what they had to do.
And a swing and a miss. Tag is put on, and that will do it. But the Orioles will add another. They get a run on a couple of hits. Chris Davis RBI sac fly that could have been a home run. Shuck robs him. Davis looks like the Garcia in right field. You did that to me yesterday. What is going on here in Chicago? on the Dodgers from the Los Angeles Times. They're the most expensive team in baseball history, expected to be the super team. Instead, they've been more like a very good team. Dodgers are 45-36, happens to be the exact same record they had at the midpoint last season, so it's just as good as the team that Ned Colletti put together a year ago. Dodgers were expected to kind of run away with that division. Hasn't happened. However, they're still winning a lot of games.
Well, they are, but they lost Ruo, their left-handed pitcher, and then they signed Brandon McCarthy. He had Tommy John surgery, but he's right about the most expensive team in the history of baseball. We used to think Yankees and the Red Sox, especially the Yankees, but not anymore. Yeah, I look at the series that's going on in New York now. The Mets and the Dodgers are going on. You had Kershaw, against Noah Syndergaard. I'd only seen him pitch once. He was throwing 99. I mean, that's kind of postseason game. Yesterday was Greinke and Matt Harvey. The difference is that when you get in the postseason, you'll see that kind of pitching, but you'll see better offenses. The Mets struggling because of injuries.
Having a very difficult time, the Mets getting hits, much less runs of late. Bonifacio on his first at bat came on defensively. Emilio Bonifacio. And a ground ball to first. It's fair. Oh, nice play made. Parmalee just took over at first. Short hops it on the backhand to get the out for Rowe.
Yeah, Emilio goes, I'm not hitting very well. And in fact, I'm 0 for 19. And again, I mean, it's a tough play because of the short hop. But Chris Parmalee, all he has to do is figure out a way to get some base hits and be in the lineup, because he can flat out pick it at first. And then you got Chris Davis very comfortable in right field. It really, I didn't see this coming, but it has worked out well.
There's Steve Pearce, who's gone to right field. Chris Davis getting a break here in his 9th start in right field today.
Well, Gary, the other thing we talked about, I mean, one of our themes or storylines was this is the halfway part, same record as the Orioles had last year. They would win 96 games. The fact that Pearce has 3 hits, he can play anywhere. So now all of a sudden you have these more movable parts that Chris Davis is going to play every day. Parmalee doesn't hit. He can play some days. Pearce can play like he did last year. You find a place for him somewhere. He can play the outfield. He can play first base. And can play them all well. Scope's back.
Ball put up in the air, left field. And had a little carry on it. Hauled in by Lowe, and Eaton is retired. 1 for 4 for him today. 2 down. So the Orioles trying to put this one away with the big 9-1 lead. Bottom half of the 8th inning.
Yeah, Chaz Rowe doing what he has.
Two down. Here's Abreu, base hit, run scored, 1 for 3, extending his hit streak to 7 games today. Orioles put the shift on, and the pitch will catch the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, we wondered what they were talking to the bullpen. Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach. Well, Brian Mattis is going to get loose, come in to pitch tonight. 2-0 for Joe Mauer.
0-1 count with 2 down, and the pitch taken outside. Orioles bullpen still since April 29 leading the majors in ERA 2.27 as they were last year. They have been this season a consistent wall for the Orioles. 1 ball 1 strike count. And he'll take that one right down the middle.
Yeah, he gave up on it. That's how good that breaking ball is. It's a late breaker. The fastball he throws is usually a 2-seam fastball, even though he only holds it on 1 seam. It's kind of showing me down in Houston. Great movement on it.
Orioles move Scope to the other side of second again, where he normally plays, fouled off based on the count. And 1 ball 2 strike count will stay. Minnesota tomorrow night. Orioles to begin a 3-game set there. Wei-Yin Chen, Phillip Hughes. 7:30 O's extra. 8 o'clock for the ball game. Masson 2. 2 night games and a noontime game, Minnesota time. 1-2 delivery. It's it up in the air down the line and right. Pierce is going to get chased, but it's out of play.
And then Toronto comes in here. They'll get Chris Sale and Burley, as you mentioned. That'll be was Mark Burley, a legend in this town because he pitched so well. And he's 9-4, Sales 6-4, and then you get Quintana, who never has a winning record because they never score any runs for him, but low ERA against Hutchinson, and then you got John Danks coming off the 1-0 victory, 7 innings against the Orioles on Friday. 3 lefties against a team that hits left-handers the best. That's the Blue Jays.
And the Orioles right behind them, second. Toronto got a victory today. They pummeled Detroit 10-5. So Toronto gets out of a 3-game losing streak. They had allowed 28 runs in those 3 games that they lost. Today they get a 10-5 win against the Tigers, who no one can define. Who are the Tigers? God only knows.
Well, if they lose Miguel Cabrera for 6 weeks,
they aren't much.
Yeah, you're going to ask that question again. And
there's a strike. Rowe got him. That'll be his second K. 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th inning. The Orioles have the 9-1 lead. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer on this Sunday, rounding out the 4th of July weekend. The Orioles on top 9-1, and Oriole fans are celebrating a big lead here. The bird is the word. I like her sign. And her hair. She has some. It's a real good thing. All right, we go to the 9th inning. Soto's going to come on to do the catching for Flowers. There's Robin Ventura making changes, as Buck Showalter has done. J.J. Hardy will lead it off. Hardy with an 0 for 4. He is 1 for 10 in this series. Against the White Sox this year so far, he's had a couple of hits and 17 at-bats against them. 0-1 count. Hardy, Scope, Joseph will be due up. Scott Carroll gave up a run last inning, down to third and foul. Bobby Dickerson to play. Oh, to the count. Off the end of the bat to Ramirez at short. Hardy is retired. Take a look at our Lexus 1000 drive of the game, Jonathan Scope.
Yeah, first time up in a long time. Slider off of Carlos Rodon, and wind blowing in, and didn't matter. Gave a little look into the dugout. And everybody happy. Gave the Orioles a 2-0 lead. Single runs in the first and the second for the O's.
Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus 1000, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer. 5 years running. See why at lexus1000.com. Scope will take the breaking ball for a strike. Reached on an error his last time up, 1 for 4 in the ball game. 0-1 count, 1 down, 9th inning. Steven Strasburg came out of the ball game the other day. Didn't know why he felt bad, but did. He's going on the DL again.
A little oblique or something.
Left oblique.
Yep. Red Sox have come back to take the lead. The bullpen, a big improvement with the Astros. Sip and Harris gave up 4 runs.
Red Sox are 5 of the last 7, as we said, trying to get themselves back into the division race. Off the fists and back.
Yeah, you started
slightly smaller crowd.
Yeah, you started 500. The Orioles had to do that. Their hunt for 500 started that day when they didn't beat Dallas Keuchel. They had lost the first 3 down in Houston, but they won the game on the Adam Jones home run. And if they win today, which it looks like they will, there will be 4 games over 500.
And a swing and a miss, and Carroll will get his second strikeout.
Yeah, perfect breaking ball. Young hitter. How do you get him out? Well, you want to stay out of the middle of the plate, and he does. Perfect pitch.
That'll bring up Caleb Joseph. Active day all the way around. He has driven in 3 with a double and a ground ball out. He's reached also on a walk in the game. 2 down, bases are empty. And the fastball strike is there. Rodon, the starter for the White Sox, their pitcher of record, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 hits over the 5 innings. Webb, an inning, 4 runs, 2 earned, 4 hits. Jennings, an inning, he had a strikeout. Scott Carroll, the 4th pitcher used in the ball game. Orioles have used only a couple. Gonzalez, a run on 4 hits over 6. He's going to be 7 and 5 on the year.
Man, Caleb had a lot to do with that. Got the big hit in the game. That 2-out double made it doubled up the score. Made it 4-0.
Ooh, home plate umpire took that one. Marcus Patillo working behind the plate. Ooh. Soto going out to the mound. Caleb Joseph walking around the batter's box. 2 catchers and an umpire. That's a threesome that understands. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And a foul tip held on to. So 3 strikeouts for Carroll. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Orioles on their way to a W. 3-out stand at 9-1 the lead. For the Orioles, it hasn't happened for a few games.
So Brian Mattis comes in 9-1, gets some work. Been pitching well as of late. A lot of strikeouts. Well, there's a mix. 50. As everybody will tell you. A lot of guys. I mean, most starting pitchers will throw 65 to 70% fastballs. Not all, obviously, but and then the relievers maybe a little bit different mix. Curveball, sliders, the 33%, and then the changeup. So the only thing that jumps out, too many walks, more strikeouts in innings pitched, hits under that, but the walks better lately. But and that's kind of improved since the 8-game suspension for having whatever it was on his arm, his forearm.
J.B. Shuck first at bat, came on to play in left field. He'll lead it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. LaRoche and then Garcia are due up.
Shuck got the big hit off of O'Day. Came in, pinch hit it right over the bag, down the line.
And we'll foul that one off the mask. Yet another one for Caleb Joseph.
Painful.
Oh.
Wow.
Gee. Only 5 at bats against left-handers for Shuck. 0 for 5. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Ryan Mattis, the overhand pitch. Didn't get it. Count will go to 2-1.
Ryan's looking somewhere. A glary day. As you mentioned, Marcus Petito new to the major leagues. I think. I mean, first time we've seen him.
Youngster can get some souvenir on that one. 2 ball, 2 strike count. So the Orioles will even up the season series at 3-3 with a victory today. And a grounder into the shift. J.J. Hardy.
He's everywhere. He is so good at what he does.
One away. Garcia on deck. LaRoche trying to get on for him. He's 0 for 3. Couple of hits, 10 at bats in the series. LaRoche the designated hitter in the ball game. He's 220 off lefties. About 20 points higher off right-handers. Tension of the first 2 games of the tight pitching duels. Let out of the balloon in this one by the Orioles' late surge, scoring 7 runs in 3 innings, 6, 7, and 8.
Well, what you find out is that usually when you get to the middle of the bullpen versus the end, more chance of adding runs, and then the way they have to play defensively. Boy, it's you don't want to play your infield in unless you have to. It opens up holes. Orioles took advantage of that. You know, the error by I mean, there's just so many things, and then they played ugly baseball.
Yep. Yeah, they just kept those free outs. There's very little that costs you more in baseball than the extra outs you give opponents. Check swing, and that's there, and he's gone. And the strikeout for Mattis, and there are 2 down.
Just a high heater.
Two away, 9th inning. Orioles ready to put it away. Garcia base hit, 1 for 3 in the ball game, 4 for 10 in the series against the Orioles, as these 2 teams wrapping up a season against one another here in the 9th inning. Pitch outside by Mattis, and an impressive performance by the Orioles offense. And they'll hope they can carry that over to the games in Minnesota and well beyond that.
You're going to go home against the Nationals. The way they're playing, you better tune up your game for those series.
Two-0 count. Mattis gets a swinging strike. Avisel Garcia. And we count at 2-1. And Brian Mattis will miss with that, a little bit away. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Rowe worked a solid 2 innings with the 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. And misses outside. Only the second walk the Orioles have surrendered. That comes at 2 down, 9th inning.
Now just a little bit of a fall. I mean, good velocity, 93, 94. Hardly ever see that. Got some rest. Maybe this is a fast gun here in Chicago. They're all different.
Connor Gillespie 0 for 3 in the ball game. 2 for 8 in this series. Gillespie will take the pitch for a strike. So another lefty up here against Brian Mattis. Gillespie's had only 5 at bats against left-handers, 2 for 5. Two down with a runner off first, and the pitch will be outside. Left-handers 1-1. Throttle back on it, had him way out in front of that one. So Gillespie with a 1-2 count. Garcia at first base. 2 down, 1-2. And that should be it. It is. Where's the ball? Picks it up, tags him, and now we're officially over. So Brian Mattis comes on, gets a couple of strikeouts, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on here in the 9th inning, and the Orioles wrap it up in strong fashion. There's your final. The Orioles beat the White Sox 9-1.
Yeah, so again, the theme, the storyline, who are the Orioles going to be the second half? Pretty good start. Scope gets back, hits a home run. Gonzalez, after a couple of bad starts, able to get through 6 innings. Bullpen good, relays good, hitting good, defense better than the White Sox, one of the best in baseball, and to get a win.
Orioles benefit.